And I be yelling out, gang, gang. Do you gang bang? What's the deal, y'all? I got some sad news, man. The home team is looking bad, man. One of the homies got rolled up out the county jail. Running for fades. The homies is gonna whoop him when they see him. It's gonna get ugly for Mr. Foe Expo. What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What is the dealio, Emilio? Who was in here? Who was in here? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, man? Got my carrot juice. You serious about my carrot juice? It's good. It's fire. All right. Are we in here? Bitch, I'm from that deuce. Bitch, I'm from that out. In a park somewhere you can't go. All right. You know what? I ain't finna hold y'all. I'm about to go ahead and get into this because I don't want to be on live all night. So they catch up. If you in here, give me a yeah. We gonna get started. What's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? We're trying to type it in, seeing and try to we're back the same. Like, cook, cracking the same, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge. You ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Tap in with the tap in to make sure you are in fact tapped in with that good tap in. Hit that notification bell. Hit all say tapped in for the latest and the greatest. And make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe for everything we got going on. Excuse me, here at TNN Trap News Network. My man Sean is in here. Sean, and look, might be just me and you, big dog, but we're gonna rock out. We're gonna rock out. You feel me? Big shout out to Sean and his mother Chucker. If you in the chat, show some love. We are really live. It's not a flu flam. RichTrapHouse.com. Get into that. If you ain't got into that, merch store. Tees, hoodies, sweatpants, tees, hoodies, long sleeves, short sleeves. All that's out now. The pathetic fatsos, loose cannon, so look right collection. All that's out now. And please get into the new money, the new music. Please don't touch my. It got a body on it. Chillied out, chillied up. All that's out now. Get into that. Don't worry about it. Real quick. I made a thumbnail. It made me laugh. I made a thumbnail. It made me laugh. Big sad. Don't get mad at me. But I thought that this was a funny thumbnail. I did. I thought it was funny. I thought that was funny. The big sad getting chased by the Playboys. I thought that was funny, babe. Real quick, because big sad he from Playboys. So this is the thumbnail. Hold on. I thought it was funny because I thought it was clever. Because he getting into it with his head. He's from Playboys. And then you see the Cadillac sign. Details. Cadillac app. If you know, you know. Don't worry about it. We're going to jump into this content. I got news to report. Confirm. Not only is Expo rolling it up in the jail. You look good. I see you fine. Not only is Expo rolling it up in the jail, bro is not necessarily welcome in his fraternity where he, claims and all that. And yeah, it's Expo might be renegade crippin'. Buy him lonely. We're gonna jump into this content without no further ado. Don't man. Shout out to Scandalous Los Angeles for getting to it. Let's go. Now I will say this: Expo got sent to the Hoover door and like the blood door. With everything he got whacked out on his face, they was going. I have it on good authority to know that they was going. Expo was going to have a sword fight. So he ain't the biggest thing. He got a squabble. But here's a real question to everybody in the comments. If you had all your enemies' hoods whacked out and they was going to put you in the dorm with all your enemies and you knew They was going, you like, I'm not being facetious, I'm not being exaggeratory. You knew for a fact you were going to get unalived. Would you go into that dorm? Would you go into that pod? Would you go into that floor? Because they was for sure going Expo what? If you ain't did so, make sure you follow Scanlon's Los Angeles.
Okay, and they call you. So tell me what happened, blood.
And never forget that Deuce M's hates the neighborhood Crips. Never forget that. And he'll say, no, I don't. I'm cool with Tiny Charles and Big U. That nigga hates anything Rich Rolling and anything neighborhood Crip. I said it. Criticality. I'm saying it. TD. I'm saying it. Yo, boy. That nigga hate anything from the 30s to the 100s. That nigga hate anything double R. He hate anything neighborhood Crip. Did you eat dinner yet? Come here. Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you eat dinner yet?
No.
So how you gonna eat a cupcake if you ain't ate dinner?
I don't know.
Go eat you some steak. Go eat you some collard greens. And go eat you some potatoes. Okay? And guess what you have after that?
Okay.
You can have your cake. I got you. But guess what you gotta eat first? Yeah. I love you, best friend. Uh-oh, I got you, Daddy. I never let you fall. Be careful. Hey, you're gonna start the big boy jiu-jitsu class next week, okay?
Okay.
You gonna go with your brothers?
Yeah.
I don't like the baby class.
Either.
I got you. He don't like it either. But notice how Deuce M's never misses an opportunity to get the rolling Crips and the neighborhood Crips against each other. He never, or if it's anything bad, he never misses an opportunity because this nigga hates the section. But it's all good, you know, whatever. Hate his heart.
Right now I'm in the puppy. It's a big ass overflow, you feel me? So everybody is taking everybody going to get shit, you feel me? Where? So I don't know. Whenever they went to jail, I guess they went to jail on May Hood Day or whatever. A lot of them, you feel me? The whole load of them. I came from court by myself. I got remanded in court on Monday, April 14th. So them was already, you feel me? I guess at the police stations and shit, you feel me? And went to court on that Monday too. But they was already, you feel me, in custody type shit. I just had got into custody, so you feel me? I was at court the whole day till 6 until they transported us. They transferred us to the county though at like 8 though. We ain't even catch the 6 o'clock bus. We caught the 8 o'clock bus type shit, like midnight, you feel me? Right. So they get to the county, you feel me?
That's that super late bus.
I got so you feel me? I still got a warrant on blood. I still got a warrant, an open warrant. They expedite me. Wait, you got shot? How long ago did you get shot? About a year ago, you feel me? All right. But my shit wasn't up on his own, you feel me? I ain't go through all the surgeries and shit to, like, you feel me, get her closed up and all that other shit. Nigga, you feel me? You feel me? That's the healing. Right. Boom. So they expedite me, though. You feel me? Go to my wound and shit to get me to the medical or whatever. Boom. They give me the IRC. My bad. As I walk past IRC, I see the little tank and on blood. It's like 4 of them niggas dead homies. I see the tank. I look up in my blood. They see me. They get to smiling on blood. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, 40 credit. They like, they like me, but I'm like, nigga, fuck phone. Some dead homies. You feel me? I keep walking on blood. If I hit an IRC, I'm sitting up the IRC. This call is being recorded. I'm waiting for my little processing and shit. You feel me? Boom. Them niggas end up coming in and spoke there. But one of them from Hundreds, you feel me? The oldest with them from Hundreds. On blood, the 3 other young was the nigga Expo, the nigga Fat Jack, not the Fat Jack from 9-0, the Fat Jack from Foodies. The Fat Jack from Foodies and the Dark Face from Foodies. The Dark Face, yeah, a little issue since we was younger, you feel me? I been feet on blood and knocked him out, so he already knew who I was, sure, you feel me? Right. So once they come in on the damn nigga, Expo go through X-ray on blood. He go through X-ray, and the rest of them niggas go through X-ray. But we all like 5 feet perimeter type shit. Yeah, I push up over there. Cause I ain't gonna cap. I let that niggas fuck phony. So I'm thinking on blood. They finna come in here and blitz me, you know? Right. So on the set, I push up over there before they even get me in the corner of anything. And on blood, all that, they just huffing and puffing like mad faces. They not on the dead up. They not on shit though. I'm laughing. Oh, so you like, oh, these is boo boo.
Keep in mind that Deuce M's is a Damu as well, and I'm not gonna say the fraternity that he's from because he's from Wisconsin, but the fraternity that he's from hates the 40s, hates the 60s, and all that. And I'm gonna say it has nothing to do with all bloods, all Damus. But speaking about Deuce M's, that nigga hate neighborhood Crips and anything Rich rolling. He does, bro. He does. Unless he's meat eating Big U or meat eating, you know what I'm saying, TD, he hate anything coming from that section, bro. He hate anything coming from that section. This nigga's Deuce Sims is a weirdo, bro. And I ain't saying the dude telling the story is even lying because I got on good authority from hollering at who I need to holler at that nigga Expo did do some Busteroni-ish. I got it from good authority from who I need to holler at and all that kind of stuff. That Expo is running from a put off in the 40s and he's renegade crippin' and all that kind of stuff. So I ain't even saying that the ninja not telling the truth. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't go to jail no more. I don't go to nobody's IRC. You feel me? I'm on the streets rolling tree. You feel me? It's 421. I'm rolling tree. You feel me? That's that. But you know, when it's all said and done, Deuce M's, I want y'all to pay attention to his excitement level. His like your little pee-pee getting wet listening to the situation. What's up with you, bro? You good? You all right? You straight? Wisconsin? You all right? I could put you in a mansion somewhere in Wisconsin. Face ass. It's crazy what it takes for niggas' hatred to come out.
Right. Blood, I've been fighting this hot ass case in 2021, but you feel me? Due to all the evidence and shit, they had to let nigga go and just feel me if they want to keep fighting it, but you feel me, they couldn't hold it, nigga type shit, you feel me?
Right.
So I'm back in this motherfucker. The police know me. The police know me all through this motherfucker, so they already see, like, they already
appreciate you giving life.
Putting two and two together. But mind you, I'm 5 feet perimeter with these. So the police kind of like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like,
right.
You know who I am and know what I'm about. And now, you feel me? I know they've been watching podcasts at home and shit, you know, all the shit. So boom. Expo, he said, he come out the X-ray. I'm looking at blood. He looking at me.
I wonder if this story ends with the dude telling the story is like taking off on something. Because like niggas tell all these stories and all this kind of stuff. I done got whooped up in the LA County jail before. I done got whooped. I was literally just talking to who I was talking to, and we was talking about the situation, blah, 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 my higher authority. And I was just telling them, like, I don't get why niggas be rolling it up, bro. Just get beat up, bro. I done got beat up. Like, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you just get stabbed. You feel me? Like, sometimes you just get stabbed. It's part of this is the situation you signed up for. Sometimes you just get stabbed. Trust me, I've been stabbed twice in the face. Twice in the LA County jail, one right here, one in the hip, and don't worry about it. Stabbing situations are different. But I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Just take what you got to take, bro. And you know, but in the Expo situation, they was gonna unalive him. I say all that to say, is old boy telling the story gonna end this story with him telling us how he took a fade?
Sit down on the bench, but he sit down on the bench with his legs open, like you feel me, the bench in between his legs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, this nigga super cool, dead on me. So he like, cause I'm fighting life on the dead, I'm gonna do it to it. Like, don't let the enemy. Dead on me. So fucking I'm gonna do it to it. But before I even get up on him, I see the oldest nigga right there. I'm like, I asked him where you from. I'm like, 42. You feel me? He like, no, I'm running. So now you feel me? He making sure I know he's not from London. So you feel me? He don't want to be a part of the bus. This shit. Like he like, I'm from the crib.
Right.
This call is being recorded.
So you asking your enemies where you from, but you don't get.
I'm like, he
and then from Hunnis was called, what was blood name?
He from underground upstairs. You feel me? He got a name on blood. Nigga not finna tell over the phone type shit.
Right.
Boom. So you feel me? He's just sitting right there. So now him and Expo sitting together. I'm saying, yeah, Expo, like I'm fighting some hot shit. I'm 40 crib. I'm gonna do it to it. And blood, I started like giggling on the set, but I whispered to Expo like don't do the most, bro. Like
the giggle is crazy.
Chill, like, cause I'm really like, you feel me?
Right, you know the police already. Yeah.
So I'm like, don't do the most, bro. I'm like, get home, like, you feel me? We gonna do that. I'm like, I got you. Don't chill. We gonna do that. So, man, so we like, trying to know you. Like now, you feel me? Like, it ain't to know you. Like, I'm like.
Now, it's been a minute since, you know, I've been involved in anything like that. It's a lot of conversation, boy. I don't never remember a nigga giving me this much conversation ever in the LA County jail. Nigga, I ain't never had a nigga give me this much dialogue. Nigga, you from blah, blah, blah. You be over there with them niggas? Let me handle that. One nigga just came up to me and I knew he was tripping, so I got up and we just got cracking. It was no words. It was no words. Like that nigga walked up to me. I could see it in his face when he was on. I got up and got right with that. No words. I've gotten into it in the IRC. I've gotten into it in court tanks. I've gotten into it. I've never got into it at the OCJ. I've never really been housed in the OCJ. I always got sent to Wayside. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of dialogue back and forth. Like, you know they enemies. And again, I'm older. I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year in September. So maybe it's, it's a different generation, all that kind of stuff. I've never been afforded so much conversation. I've never been granted the luxury of this much conversation and understanding.
I'm a rapper. You feel me? I'm not, but I'm getting irritated because you feel me?
Right.
I got theatrics on blood. I was supposed to come here and blitz me anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So no, folks did what you feel me? You gonna get it though. So you feel me? I'm like, what's up? You niggas wearing shit. I'm like, oh yeah, it's our first time in the body for sure. Yeah, so I can go tell my friend to go.
That's what I'm saying though. But if it's not your first time in the bounty, as you said it, why you didn't blitz? Yeah, like, okay, so my man said it's never been that much talking. I'm 38, and these young niggas all that extra dialogue. Okay, so I'm not tripping. Why you just didn't blitz? Like again, I've been in situations where when I got some dope coming for y'all, some dope content coming for y'all. With some of my childhood friends, we just telling stories and kicking it. I've gone into situations where I told the homies, hey, bro, I'm finna get jumped. I need y'all to come pull up into the situation, come help me. Oh, bro, I got it, blah, fuck it, I'm gonna just get jumped. And then I just got jumped. And then, like, it is what it is because it's just a fight, bro. It's just a fight. Scar, scratch, you might get nicked up with a little knife, you might get poked up, whatever, blah, blah. I'd have been stabbed 4 different times. It just be like that sometimes. I'd have been shot, whatever, whoopty bam and all that. It just, like, if you're committed to a lifestyle, you're committed to this lifestyle. And this is just what comes with it. Niggas want to be friends and enemies at the same time. On God, I love you and I hate you at the very same time. It's a very bittersweet situation. I'm saying everybody's wrong in the situation for not blitzing. The dude telling the story is wrong for not blitzing. Expo, you're super wrong for not blitzing and all that kind of stuff, but you got way more charges leading up to that. You have so many things that you need to worry about on the streets and in the courtroom. It's a crazy situation.
So I'm done waiting. So, well, I'm not on no fan shit or nothing, but you feel me? Y'all, come on, fool. Y'all know what time it is. Yeah, Expo, he like, yeah, you, I don't know you. I'm like, brother, I don't know you. Yeah, I'm sure a rapper. I'm like, yeah, but y'all know me though. I'm like, your homies know me on blood. I knocked blood out. I tell that to the nigga Darkface on blood.
So you're telling a nigga that you knocked his homie out. Why is this not a physical thing? Why is this still a verbal situation? I'm very, very thoroughly confused.
Darkface out, that's knocked out. I'm like, on the dead homie, I knocked you out. Fuck you talking about you don't know me on blood, your homie know me. And I was like, if you can't beat your homie up on blood, you can't see me at all. You feel me? On the dead homie, I tell him just like that. Dead homie's the nigga just sitting there. The nigga Expo like, fucking you on fuck. You wanna fight me just the day you fought Expo. Mind you, this whole time I already been taking off, blood already finna do it up. I see the police getting a little bit too close to me on blood. I go for it. I spit on blood. Pull me up.
That's weak. That's weak. If you could spit on bro, you could get off on bro. I'm just saying.
After they gapple me up, you feel me? They take me to the holding tank with him.
Hey EJ, you good? EJ, you straight? You sure you want to stay in the chat? You straight, EJ? Mod standby. EJ, you good? Okay, we sure? EJ, you straight? Better yet, EJ, you got 90 seconds. Go ahead and come to the congregation. My nigga, hit this link. Better yet, we'll give you 2 minutes. If you drop a comment in the next 2 minutes without coming onto my stage, you will never be able to come on my stage again. No, you good? You want attention? Come to the stage. Come to the stage. We're gonna figure out if you good. Come on, my nigga. You want to be involved? Come get involved. You got 2 minutes. The clock is ticking.
Niggas was just that. Boom. I'm in the holding tank for like 2 hours.
You want to be involved? Come be involved. Come get all in my business. Come on.
Hours on blood. They come and give me the expedite me the urgent care. See what's up with me. What I think nothing up. Oh, they take me upstairs to the processing. Now, it's a process I'm out right now. Everybody got to go through to get housed. You feel me? Don't matter what classification you go in, you got to go through that process of module because they can't process everybody in IRC right now because there's too many people. You feel me?
Right.
So boom, they shoot me up to the processing module and blood. I'm in there. You feel me? I run into from Sacramento. You feel me? I'm hollering at blood. Another guy moved from Sacramento. Boom, I'm hollering at blood. I ain't up going to bleep. I've been up all day. I go to bleep. You feel me? Like he like, hey, it's 50 in this row right here. And the dad, I bounce up fast. I throw my shoes on and get on the glass. You feel me?
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck going on? And the dad, he's like, where the fuck I'm at? Y'all thought, you feel me? I ain't never been processing like this, so I don't know how it really is. So, this call is being recorded. I throw my shoes on, get on the board. As soon as I get on the glass, I'm outside, I'm looking at shit. I end up peeping the young nigga and dead homies. I'm like on the dead homies, like, yeah, now y'all gotta come with like I'm saying. It's good now. Dead homies, no other ifs, ands, and buts. So boom, they like D5, I'm in D5, you feel me?
Uh-huh.
So it's two, we in 231, like, I'm in 231 D5, this feel me, gotta be, you feel me, B or EMP type shit.
I hate that A-pod, B-pod, D-pod shit. A-pod, B-pod, C-pod, D-pod. That's the worst, bro. That's the medical when you first go into the county and the lights don't never cut off. I think the phone was free in there, though. Or now they say the phone is free everywhere in the county. I'm old. The phone wasn't free when I was in there. But I hated that, bro. That A-pod, B-pod ish. Oh, my God, bro. That was the worst. That was the worst. That was the worst. That was the worst. Lights don't never cut off in there. You're going to be in there for like 3 days. Worst, bro. The worst.
You feel me? So I'm glad they telling them niggas going C-pod. Boom. Mind you, C-pod and B-pod was empty at first. You feel me? So now they strip you feel me? Put that in the dorm though. But they're not using B-pod. They're only using C and D. You feel me?
Right.
B and C still empty at this point. It's only a couple niggas in D with me. It's only like 4 niggas in here. So we still got to pack this one up too. So I'm like, oh yeah, Booski store, you feel me? Gotta come here. Boom. So they send them in, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And then they start sending them people. Boom. But they tell them door, like, y'all gotta go in deep. Like, y'all niggas gotta go in deep. Like, y'all.
Hey, I know about Daffron. Shout out to everybody who watched 60 Days In. Hey, Mike Hunt, you the realest for that, bro. My nigga said Daffron was a pod boss officer, the looser deucer. Ha! I know about Daffron. Mike Hunt, you a real one, bro. You a real one for that.
On the D-pod type shit down, they ain't making up. And they didn't end up there with me. But they telling them like D-pod. Only way I know this though is because the non-affiliate that was sitting with him, you feel me? I was in IRT with him and he watched all the shit back off. You feel me? And wonder why they had me type shit. Boom.
Right.
So he let me know. Only reason I'm in here with you because all niggas just refused D-pod. Like, damn, they thought the niggas coming D-pod with you. And they had to make their way in D-pod. Boom. So they in D-pod, he in D-pod with me. He let me know that. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, crazy. Like, yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not saying what happened, what bro saying did or didn't happen. But the story that got to me was, hold on, let me double check my Palm Pilot. I ain't saying bro lying. I ain't saying bro truthing. But I'm saying that according to the story that got to me, let me see. 2200 and 2400 is all enemies, Hoovers, Brims, BPSs, and all that kind of stuff. And they said that he refused to go into there, not the A-pod, D-pod, B-pod, C-pod ish, which really wouldn't make no sense. If you've been to the LA County Jail before, put I in the chat real quick. I want to see something real quick. If you've been to the LA County Jail, hey, Mike Hunt, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I've seen every episode of every season of 60 Days In. I love that show. It is hilarious. That's one of my favorite shows. If you've been to the LA County Jail, put I want to ask a question real quick. Because, okay, so we got 2 people who've been in the LA County Jail. Let me ask y'all this. Okay, we got a few people, they coming in. Do it make sense for him to deny the A-pod, B-pod, C-pod, D-pod? Because that don't make sense to me. What do make sense is that he got sentenced to 22 or 24 and then refused that. because you know somebody who is very close to Expo, you know what I'm saying, penitentiary was like, nah, bro, he refused going into the 24, 22, 20, all that. It don't make sense for a nigga to refuse A pod, B pod, C pod, D pod. That doesn't make sense. That's not permanent housing. That's temporary housing, and you have to go there. That don't make sense at all. That don't make sense at all. So I ain't saying that bro telling the story is lying, but what I am saying is that doesn't make sense to turn down A pod, B pod, C pod, D pod. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, unless he went to the Yellows or the Browns or the Twin Towers, but then that don't make no sense because I've gotten word from the penitentiary that, think about it, bro, this is me. When do I ever talk bad about anybody that come from the section unless I already get word down? My nigga, I'm biased as a motherfucker to anybody from our section. 30s to the 100s, 20s to the 100s. I'm biased as hell. 30s to the 100s, 20s to the 100s. I'm biased as hell. You feel me? So it don't make no sense. Yeah, it ain't no turning down B pod, C pod, D pod, A pod, B pod, C pod. And then what's up, boss hog? And then Ruthless Toothless, this guy right here, you supposed to be super banged out blood. Nigga, you supposed to know that. You still being processed in. Yeah, that don't make no sense. You ain't permanently housed. So Mr. Wisconsin, you supposed to know that. But I get it. I get what you're saying, Rabbi Rich. They have GP overflow in the towers when 2004 get overpopulated. I get that. But I'm talking about the initial, when you go from IRC, you hit that shower, they put you in A pod, B pod, C pod, D pod, the medical ish, and they don't cut the lights off. That's what I'm talking about. You can't reject that. And if you reject that, they put you in solitary confinement and put you in a turtle suit. Because then you have to, because they can't give you the tuberculosis, the tuberculosis and all that, all them shots. So they're gonna put you in isolation. They're gonna turtle suit you. So that don't make no sense. Like you can't turn down medical and intake unless you go into and right after the showers. Yeah, right after the showers. Now after B pod, C pod, and all that, and then you get sent to your housing, you could turn that down. But yeah, you can't report that part of thirsty third. Yeah, you can't refuse that part of intake. Boom. Boom, you're gonna end up eating a juke ball. So I'm not saying bro telling this story is lying, but I am saying that would be the first time in LA County jail history that ever happened.
You feel me?
Because again, you feel me? I'm not saying that he didn't turn it down. I ain't saying that he didn't refuse to go into the house. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying that it didn't happen there because that don't make no sense. Hey, Ice Pick, don't worry about it. All of them know. But all of them know. But all of them know. All of them. Especially the ones that they beef with the most. I'm for sure a part of that one.
Don't blame me. I'm just like, damn, it's fun. But mind you, I already knocked out there, like, feeding up, like, you feel me? The nigga and Jack, they know me from the streets, you feel me?
Right.
Expo, I like and all this on blood, nigga. If you a young nigga, and you in on my church.
This call is being recorded.
Anywhere in North 20 Brimstone on blood, you know me back. So you feel me? I'm like this, regular on blood, them niggas boof. 2 days later now, they you feel me, they processing everybody through that motherfucker. So boom. They called for MCJ. Call us out for MCJ. They called me out.
No, he just said that he's not talking about the sales. That nigga just said that he was talking about the A pod, B pod, C pod shit, and that's where they turned it down. Now he's moving forward.
Like 2, 3 more people I'm not doing. Boom, I'm sitting out there. I'm sitting right there. I look back, and they looking through the glass. Expo and the Fat Jack sitting on the table. Mind you, get it right.
Now this is a good point too. Before you get into this, no, they was gonna put Expo in the Hoover, in the Brims, in the BPS, in the gangsters, in they ish. That's why that nigga said no. Yeah, they tried to house Expo with all his enemies. Everything he has whacked out, he was finna be housed with them niggas, and he said he ain't going in there. Now, this is my question to the chat again, to the comments. If you were in that situation, would you have gone in there? Niggas gonna say whatever they want to say in the comments. I've been stabbed up twice in the LA County jail. The medical assistance is non-existent. Nigga, the medical assistance is non-existent in that LA County jail. So he's supposed to go in there, but that ain't what I asked. Would you go in there? Because I'm gonna call a spade a spade. 35 years old, grown man. I got these kids. I got to get home, and I know that they're gonna unalive me in there. Like, it's not a question. I know for a fact that they gonna unalive me in there. Oh no, I'll do the news. I don't even go to jail no more, big dog. As a matter of fact, we're not even gonna jaywalk. We're gonna stop at the stop sign. We're gonna hit the little button. We're gonna wait for the and we're gonna cross at the light. You feel me? But back in my heyday, I'm not gonna lie. The dumbest thing that I've ever done was going to a situation where I knew I was finna get jumped and tell the homies, hey man, y'all take it too long. I'm finna just go get jumped. Bro, I could have lost my life. That was stupid. That was stupid. That wasn't brave. That wasn't me being a G. That wasn't me having, oh bro, you got heart. That was stupid. I had a daughter at that time. My sons wasn't born. I had my daughter when I was 12. I had a daughter at that time. I was 19, 20 years old. That was stupid. I could have been taken away from my daughter. I could have legitimately been taken away from my daughter. That was dumb. It was ego. You feel me? So let me ask y'all a real question. Rich Rabbit, what's the deal? Man, Rich Rabbit, you ain't allowed to politic on this one, nigga. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to my nigga Rich Rabbit. But let me know though. If you had all your enemies tattooed on you and you had them whacked out and you got put in their dorm, would you go in there? In my heyday, I did go in there. I did my time in the Beehive. 2025, nigga, hell no. I'm not doing nothing to go to jail. Nigga, I do the speed limit and ride with a seatbelt on. Swear to God.
I jack from Fogies, not from 9-0. You feel me?
Right.
So boom. They sitting on the table looking at me and shit. I'm sitting right there outside. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, you niggas. It's like, I'm like, yeah.
Okay, here's the thing too, though. You didn't get off when you had the chance.
Y'all supposed to come in there with me. So now I'm like, it's like, blood, like, you niggas weird, blood. You niggas don't eat shit. So they just smiling and shit, smiling at me. Smiling so hard, the police go up there and call a nigga Expo. Like, come on, roll it up. Like, nigga, come on. Oh, blood, keep it on so fast. He grabbed his mat and his sheet, act like he's gonna come, you feel me? Like he's gonna come out.
Right.
Oh, blood. So as he walking out, I'm over it now. I've been in a bounty since 2021 to 2022, in and out this motherfucker since 2021. You feel me, young nigga? And I know how this shit go. You feel me?
Right.
So now I'm like, all right, this is my time to go live. On blood, I'm finna go live. Just now, I'm going live due to the fact that blood is actually running, like trying to stay away from me now.
Right. Right.
Now that I notice he's trying to stay away from me, I don't know where they finna put us at an MCJ. We just know we're going to MCJ. So since I know I'm probably not gonna land with the nigga, he's finna go with his homies, I'm finna go with my homies. On blood, I'm finna go live though. I'm just finna go to the hole, nigga. On blood, you feel me? So the nigga, he walked into the door with his mat. On blood, he just threw his mat. Like, fuck you, I'm not going over here, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga.
But see, here go the thing though. It wasn't gonna give Expo a fade. See, like all y'all line up a fade. Expo got every hood he don't get along with whacked out on his face. He don't get fades. Expo, like how he got H blank on his face, they gonna try to blank Expo. You feel me?
You trying to get me killed, nigga? I'm like, dead on blood is going berserk, like on blood, all that loud pop.
But then see, here go the thing. Gigolo, they wasn't gonna whoop him. Y'all not hearing me. Rich Rabbit, you understand what I'm saying when I say that this nigga wasn't gonna get a fade. Did y'all see the thumbnail? Did y'all see the thumbnail of this video? Have y'all seen the thumbnail for this video? Go back and look at the thumbnail. He wasn't going to get a fade. Reg, they was going to put Expo in the Hoover, Brims, BPS, Gangsta Dorm, or module, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That nigga wasn't going to get a fade. Oh, yeah, okay, now, boom, that's it, right? Now, that's what I said. I would have got off in the IRC. Yeah, I would have got off in the IRC. Period. You feel me? I would have got off in the IRC. That way I could have avoided that whole situation. They're going to immediately keep me away from these niggas because I just got off on that nigga. So niggas say that's a PC move, blah, blah. I don't give a damn. I'm going to split something in the IRC. Bow. I'm going to start mine off in the hole. And then we're going to just take it from there. You feel me? But yeah, but letting them move you around and all that kind of stuff, hell no. And then you got the opportunity to where, you know, you get placed in a bad place. Oh, no, bro. I done been in that situation long enough to know. And hey, go for it. You feel me?
He be doing like on them Instagram posts and shit.
Right.
I'm going crazy like on blood. He like He animated like that for real. They don't say
and then that's it, real talk too, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people can say whatever. This is what I know. You could lose your life in that LA County jail because I done seen niggas lose their life in that LA County jail. Niggas can say whatever they want to say. Niggas can say, Reg, I hear you. I hear you. But, yeah, all right, Reg. I don't know, Reg. That nigga from 40s. And they tried to put that nigga in a dorm that was ran by the Hoovers, the Brims, the BPSs, and the gangsters.
run up on the police. Mind you, me and the police been sharing little comments because they know.
Nigga Reg Dog says you signed up to unalive for this. I can't stand this nigga Reg Dog.
You feel me? Like, hey, that's the boy over there. What's that? Like, what's that? What's y'all, how that don't work? I'm laughing. You feel me? Going back and forth with them. But now he tripping on the police like, oh, I'm not sending you over here, nigga. Oh, when?
This call is being recorded.
They're like, all right, just come out the door. They're like, just come out the door. Now I get by the glass on blood. I push by the glass like on blood. As soon as you walk out the door, the police already know that I'm on.
Did you eat your whole plate?
Yeah.
You ate the whole plate?
Yeah.
You ate.
Yeah.
Use your words.
Yeah.
So if I go check, did Harper eat all this food? All right, you can wash your mouth. You can wash your hands. You can have your cake. Put his cake on a plate for him. Put his cake on a plate for him. When y'all done, wipe that table. I meant to tell y'all the other day. I walked past that table and there was food on it. If I see that again, we got fades. Do we need to have food on the table? Are we disgusting? Are we dirt? I only hear one voice. Are we dirt bagging? Okay, so if I walk past that table ever again and I see food that's looked like it's been sitting there all day, niggas got fades. For sure. That's disgusting. I'm so serious. Don't be gross, bro. Have respect for yourself. Have respect for your home. Have respect for your space. Y'all young men. Are we ever dirty in here?
No.
All right. I don't ever want to talk about this again.
Yes.
Like, bro, like, no, I'm a single dad, bro, and we can't be in here dirty. If it's a bunch of men in here, it's a bunch of men in here with sons. We can't be in here dirty, bro. We can't be in here dirty. We can't be in here dirty. That's out. It ain't no, excuse me, it ain't no day-to-day woman in this motherfucker. You feel me? Will Fox said, I got back face. I got the baby's back face. But hey, as dads, y'all get what I mean, bro. We can't be in here dirt bagging, bro. Like that's what's not finna happen. It can't look like don't no woman live here. It can't look like it's a single daddy in here with all boys. You feel me? Gotta be clean, bro. Gotta be clean. I got daughters and we can't be dirty in here on God. So shout out to all the dads in the chat. Pops, if you a dad in the chat, put I in the chat, man. Salute to all the fathers.
I'm saying we ain't even go straight. Police already know I'm finna get off on blood. I already tell them like, you feel me? It's that. Boom. So it's like, come out the door. Like, just come on. He's like, I'm not going nowhere. Y'all trying to get me killed, so I see my face. Thinking y'all trying to throw me and shit. He just going crazy. Like, I'm not going nowhere. So I'm like, man, you the bitch, nigga.
But with all the dads in the chat, I see the eyes, man. Big salute to y'all. And y'all all feel me when I say with a house full of boys, you know what I'm saying? And me being in here as a single daddy, we can't be in here dirty, bro. The house got to be a machine. Everybody got to carry their own weight and do their own part. Speaking of doing their part. Hey, y'all, when y'all done, hit that laundry too. Bedtime is at 9 o'clock. So the house needs to be clean. Y'all need to be in the bed. 9 o'clock. Not I'm brushing my teeth. Not I got to do this. Not I got to do that. Program is over. 9 o'clock, everything needs to be done. Be responsible for yourselves, all right? Do everybody in here know how to tell time? Do everybody in here got somewhere to find the clock? All right.
I'm glad now I know I'm not getting blood. I'm like, nigga, the thing from you to finish. You've been refusing doing this whole time, nigga. You've been trying to stay away from me this whole time, nigga. On the shit, nigga. You a weirdo, nigga. Now I'm on blood. I'm like, nigga, you going to yellows and blues, bitch ass, nigga. I'm like, they start looking, they like, I'm like, yeah, he's about to going to mental health. I'm like, I'm glad he's going to yellows and blues.
Oh, JJ, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. My nigga, at any given time, I could just bark out orders and then they got to do it. It's like having little minions and they got to listen to you. My nigga said the random screams, the word of the dad. I can't wait. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Shout out to everybody who gets banned permanently from my chat for being annoying. Look at you guys.
But like, he like, oh, fuck shit. Let him come on the stairs. Let him come on the stairs. I'm finna knock you out. Let him come on the stairs. The police looking at that nigga like a jackass. You feel me? On blood, they moved me to MCJ 2224 right here with the homies. On blood, I've been stagnant. You feel me? Blood act, nigga put blood K10. I'm sad. Feel me? Only motherfuckers that know his name don't know where he at. Search him up and shit, you know?
Yeah. Damn.
That's how that one for sure. Yeah.
Oh, if he didn't do that, where they would have sent him at? Were you and the homie Mac 5 at?
Now, yeah, putting Expo in the Hoover module, that means that guard did not care for him.
If he didn't go in the yellows, where they would have sent him? Where y'all at right now?
So they force for is general population regardless, except for the 5,000 floor now, right?
Uh-huh.
5,000 floor is yellows and blues now. So general population would not be going to 5,000 floor MCJ. Anywhere else in MCJ general population, you will be like good to go type shit. Now for the members, they know 2224 is the blood module, 2628 the keyway module. You know all the clips over there and shit. He matter of fact, he's screaming at me like, go to 2628. Go to 2628 with the homies. He don't even know. I just left 2628 2 days ago. Got me put on blood.
Right.
You feel me? But I landed on 2224 with the homies though.
Here's the thing about that too. Take it back to the homie Biscuit from Swans. He an OG blood, and this is when I was in the blood module. Did y'all break something? Be careful, please. This is when I was in the blood module, the Beehive or whatever. Biscuit from Swan said something real. And he never. I did get packed out. He was gone one day and I got packed out. It is what it is. Sometimes you just gonna get packed out. But under his watch, he would never let him pack me out because his thing was always, if he go outside or he send a kite or he go to court or whatever, he tell his homies what he going through over here. I guarantee you it's one of our homies that's over there with his homies and they gonna do to him what we over here doing to bro. So he was always, Biscuit was real solid about that. And again, big shout out to Biscuit from Swans, man. He on his way home and bro's actually been locked up since I met him all them years ago. He's now finally on his way home. But long story short though, hey, my nigga, Reg, 333, 334, that's where they placed me, nigga. And I was just in that motherfucker. I don't have no business. And like I said, man, if I took 20 fades in the Beehive, I won 10, I lost 10, and I got packed out. Like, it just to be what it's going to be. But I say all that to say, for bro to say, well, he just came from over there, my question to him is, well, did they try to unalive you the way they was going to try to unalive Expo? Yeah, Reg Dog, I just went where they put me. Okay, I guess I'm here now. Okay, he's a blood. And I remember that homie from Lanes, I was with E-Mac. E-Mac from Denver Lanes was in there. E-Mac from Denver Lanes was in there. He was cool as fuck too. Every time I tell the story, I can never remember the homie from Denver Lanes. E-Mac was cool as fuck. Every nigga from Denver Lanes I ever met was hella cool. Fig Newton, hella cool. E-Mac was hella cool. I met Lil E-Mac later on working in the Fox Hills Mall. He was hella cool. Shout out to all the E-Macs. Long story short, but yeah, so you wonder if when he was in the dorm with all the Crips, what they trying to do to him, what was going to be done to Expo. So it's like, yup, Rabbi Rich, yup, the dark skin one and the light skin one. I think Lil E-Mac is like my color, and then the other E-Mac was darker, I believe. I might have him confused. But regardless of the fact, you know, he was in there with all the Crips, and he said, well, I was just over there. But wasn't nobody trying to put holes in you, bro. Nigga, X4 is going to get holes put in him. Yep, Rabbi Rich. Yep, he was cool. I think he locked up, though. Free all the E-Macs from Lanes. With that being said, though, you know, he's like, well, I was just over there. But wasn't nobody trying to put holes in you, bro. Like, it's different being in the dorm where niggas is trying to put holes in you, my nigga. Like, it's different, bro. It's different.
So first, before anything,
the chat is not hearing it. The chat is like, Expo know what he signed up for. Y'all don't got no empathy for Expo in the chat? Chat, y'all don't got no empathy for Expo? None at all?
With the homies. But not like that. If that nigga would have just came with us, or if he came out the dorm, we would have went to the hole.
KD!
And if we didn't go to the hole, he would have got housed with his homies, and I would have got housed with my homies. Period.
Right.
Period. Blood refused MCJ. He did not on blood. He did not want to step foot in this place.
Damn. Where's the nigga full extra at?
Oh, well, that's on 26, 28. He on 26, 28 right now.
Oh yeah.
He with the
Oh yeah. So he knew that if he got to MCJ, that either he would have landed over there or he would have landed right there.
Let's see. Here go the thing too. Unfortunately for Expo, he might got some problems if he land with the homies. It's deep to rock around. That's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's It's a wobbler. He said, "You can't be saying that you kill more ninjas than cancer." Oh my god, bro!
He knew for sure. It was one of the others on the set. One of the others.
Oh yeah, straight Yeezus.
And if the yellow and blues, you feel me? He went K10. He did some shit to get him high power. You feel me? So
no, I think that's what he said. They got the video, right?
So when he was going crazy on the police, when they had trying to send him out with me, that's what probably got him K10. Because you feel me? You could push an officer and have you assault him. You feel me?
Yeah.
You could never like move their hands. They try to grab you, slap their hands down. Anything, any pictures you could go K10 if they want to be bullshit with you. And I believe that's the way he got himself to go K10.
Well, now they asked him specifically on the video I just seen, right? They said, so you want to go protective custody? He like, yeah. They got a video live viral right now, bro.
Let's try to find this video.
Hold on, I'm finna play it for you. Tell me if you can hear it. On B, yeah.
We can't hear nothing.
Psychological orientation. He's requesting protective custody. That
come out the door. He was going there. I'm not going out this door. You feel me? He made them feel like his life was in danger.
Oh, so that was the PC move.
Here go the thing though. Now I ain't saying he right. I ain't saying he wrong for how he did it. He didn't make them feel like his life was in danger. His life was in danger. His life was in danger. His life is in danger for sure. For sure. His life was in danger for sure. So it wasn't like he was trying to pretend. Hear me. I'm not being facetious. I've heard this from allies. I've heard this from what would be enemies who are my friends and blah, blah, blah. I've heard from all sides. Okay, hear me. I've spoken to a 40 crib. I've spoken to all in the penitentiary. These are all people within the penitentiary right now as we speak. Shout out to all you guys. Free you guys and see you guys free. And free Avenue Angel until he's free. I've spoken to a 40 crib. I've spoken to a BPS. I've spoken to a Hoover. I've spoken to a Biddy Stone. And I've spoken to a neighborhood 20 blood. Everybody has told me the same story. X4 did not have an he wasn't going to get a fade. He didn't roll it up, Reg. He refused to move. It went high power from what it's being presented. That's being presented. I ain't 100% sure. But I know he refused to move. And he got some issues with his constituents. But he also has issues with his enemies. Everybody's agreeing. So there's that.
That nigga was scared of the bank thing. Neighbors. Yeah.
Did that nigga just?
Oh, so that was the PC move.
Did that nigga just?
That nigga was scared of the bank thing. Neighbors. Yeah.
Okay. Well. That nigga Deuce M's from Fruittown Brims. Reg Dog, so I don't know how. Yeah. This is energy. I'm giving it to Deuce M's. I would like you to hold on to that energy if you could. Here's some energy. Giving it to you. I would like you to hold on to that energy. Just go ahead and give it back to me when I see you. Just go ahead and give it back to me when I see you. With that being said, Deuce M's hate the neighborhood Crips. He hate the rolling Crips. Reg Dog. Deuce M's hates the neighborhood Crips. He hates the rolling Crips. He hate anything from Adams to Imperial. Niggas try to act like, oh no, Deuce M's is cool with Big U. Da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Deuce M's hate neighborhood Crips and rolling Crips, bro. Unless he meat eating Big U, unless that nigga sucking up to TD, that nigga is man. That boy ruthless, toothless boy. It must be cracking in Wisconsin. Man, do that nigga hate neighborhood Crips? Man, let me ask you a question. To all my Damus in the chat, if a Crip was like on Bloods, on Whooping, on Damu, on B Team, you feel me? Right, the same way y'all just cringed. Right. So we ain't even gonna take nothing past that. Thiz Clinton, the FLAKKO song is hilarious. Shout out to Thiz Clinton. Hell yeah, he a smoker. Thiz Clinton, the FLAKKO song is hilarious. I pay it. Deuce M's for sure want to be a neighborhood Crip. That's why that nigga say dick eating Big U. Color raps. Get the color raps. Unique color raps. Get the unique color raps. I wish that I was from 60s. My name is Deuce M's and I wish that I was from 60. Nah, Reg Dog said I heard it before. I asked you if you heard it before. I said, nigga, that shit is cringe. The same way I know you cringe, Reg Dog, nigga, you know that shit is cringe.
Right.
Oh, Thiz Clinton, I'm gonna play it next, my nigga.
I do my shit. That's all I can say. I ain't go smut no nigga. I ain't smart no 40s. You feel me? Because I'm the dead homie. The nigga Park Ranger from 40s, and I'm gonna put him out there to let y'all know on the shit. Once the nigga told with his moving at the wayside like 2 days ago, you feel me? And he told the nigga Park Ranger, like, yeah, that's the young nigga A thing that just got up on Expo. And the nigga Park Ranger, like, on 40s, like, you got up on Expo? I'm like, dead homie, yeah, nigga. He like, yeah, I got something for you. You feel me? But you feel me? Ain't nothing happened with me and Blood on the dead homies. He know all my folks. Cause you feel me? I'm a good young nigga on Blood. Nigga ain't go try to bash me or do me bad unless the nigga out there. You feel me? I done really hurt. You feel me?
Right.
I really done. Anybody got to hurt their folks? I know I got it coming whenever that day come or whatever. You feel me?
Right. That's just how it go.
You can't do nothing but respect my gangster because I'm an actor. I ain't doing nothing but the
Hey, yeah, man, that's what I wanted to hear. Whoop, dead homies, but well, yeah, man, I guess that nigga heard.
That nigga's the blood Deuce M's wish he was. That young nigga is the Damu Deuce M's and never be.
You know what I'm saying? Because that nigga, he got to acting crazy, blowing kisses, and said that he because of his mental situation that he requested protective custody. So when he say that, where would they take him? Yeah.
All right, so look. Any members that go PC, bro, they go K10. And why you go K10 is because you can refuse like the hour day room they do got for y'all when they finally put y'all out. You feel me? You gonna get PC here is on the 9,000 floor. That's what the gays, the snitches, the etc. That's, you feel me, PC'd up.
Right.
Now, another way to be PC in this motherfucker without wearing light blue or being on the 9,000 floor when your people call in and be like, what the fuck, nigga, why you on the 9,000 floor? Why you doing that? It's to go K10. Because K10, you feel me, high power, 3,000 floor. So, you feel me, you still gonna be around gang members, a lot of niggas in K10 be snitches too, though. You feel me? Don't get it fooled. The niggas just don't want to go to court in that light blue. You feel me? Niggas.
This call is being recorded.
Your family still got to see you at visiting and shit. You feel me? A lot of niggas don't want to be in that light blue when they go to visit and go to court. So a nigga would rather stay high power where he can refuse day room for an hour. And ain't nobody gonna come in.
Right, because that's really embarrassing when you got gang tats on your face and you acting like you active, and then you go to visit to see your bitch. Now she know you really a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Nigga, when I walked out my dorm, the D5, and I had to go do my little shit to get processed to NCJ. You feel me? Got to finish my processing. Blood was in the dorm going crazy on this bitch. Like, bitch, how you think? So I know this bitch think he really liked that on his dead arms. Like, he put fear on this bitch for sure. So he can't wear no light blue going to see that bitch. Like, no.
Right. Hey, look, could y'all call back? Because I want to make sure that I got all of this audio. And any of the homies you want to shout out? Because I want to make sure this shit properly recorded. Any of the homies you...
All right, man. Y'all can catch the rest of that on Scandalous Los Angeles. Y'all know the deal's red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest free. Avenue Angel Suites free. We go. Let me show y'all something real quick before we go into the next one. Real quick. Shout out to my man Thiz Clinton. Just real quick, I want to show y'all this. Has absolutely nothing to do with nothing, but everything to do with something at the same time. Let me see this real quick. Excuse me. Deuce M's is like a fucking smoker. That nigga's a bitch. I had to wait for my video to be off. Deuce M's is a bitch. I'll beat the fucking shit out that nigga. That nigga's a hoe. Niggas can go record this shit. Niggas can do whatever with that shit, nigga. Don't make a video about me, nigga. You got TD number. You got credit number. Nigga, set up a fade, nigga. Don't make a video. Don't go on a rant. Don't go on a live. Nigga, come get this motherfucking treatment, nigga. Come get this motherfucking treatment, nigga. Deuce Sims is a bitch. Scary ass bitch. That nigga's a hoe. That nigga's ducked the fuck off in Wisconsin chewing on rock, smoking crack, nigga. That nigga's a bitch. That nigga's a bitch. No fades taken. Beating up, all kind of shit. The nigga's a smoker. All that shit. Don't make a video about me. Don't make a live. Don't do none of that. Don't do none of that. Come get bracken, nigga. Do that. Get bracken. Do that, Deuce Sims. On neighbors. Get bracken. Stupid. All that, nigga. All that. And niggas will be like, oh, Rich Trapper's not even in LA. You niggas don't know where the fuck I'm at. Hey, here to all my mods. That's the best part about social media. Niggas don't know where the fuck I'm at. Am I not in LA? If I wasn't in LA, how come I told FLAKKO to open up the door? I had no jumper that day and they never answered the door. Where am I? Who knows? Am I live? Am I not live? Is this a real video? Is it not a real video? Who knows? Who knows where I'm at? Am I live right now? Am I really not live? Is this a playlist? What's going on? Who knows? Who knows? If I'm not in LA, then why do I only have a California ID? Couldn't be in Georgia with only a California ID. If I got pulled over, I go to jail. Couldn't get pulled over, I'd go to jail. Anyway, no, I'm dead ass. If I was in Atlanta with a California ID and I was proven to be a Georgia resident, I'd go to jail. So I drive every day. I'd be around. I'd be doing shit. Anyway, let me see Thiz Clinton real quick. I played this earlier. Right here.
Frederick Dollar is my real name. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch, right? I'm pussy, I'm a bitch, right? No. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. Every time. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch, right? Because I'm a bitch, bruh, I'm doing no fighting. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. No, listen. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. I'm pussy, I'm a bitch. Because I'm a bitch, bruh, I'm doing no fighting. I can attest and I know for a fact. I can attest and I know for a fact. When my nigga on hard, real, bad man. I'm attracted to his dick. Bad man. I'm attracted to his dick. Bad man. I was spent 1,000 for like what? Like what hours? Still many bitches. Where the niggas at? I've been using my powers. Have my way. I've been predatory wrestling. Women. Every time. I was spent 1,000 for like what? Like what hours? I've been using my powers. Have my way. Every time. Frederick Dollar is my real name. Bro, listen, right? And like, I've sucked dick before. Listen, right? And like, I've sucked dick before.
The picture of Smack eating a hot dog was sick, cuz. That was on my man Thiz Clinton's page. Shout out to Thiz Clinton. Hit that subscribe button if you ain't did it.
Frederick Dollar is my real name.
If Thiz Clinton ain't tripping, I'll post this to my page later. If not, y'all can go check it out on Thiz Clinton's page. I really want y'all to go check it out on bro page. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Yeah, bro. Smack with the hot dog is crazy. Smack with the hot dog is crazy. Hot dog smack. I don't want to see hot dog smack. Yeah, like how come Smack gotta catch a stray? Smack ain't even do nothing. Why Smack catch a stray? How hot dog Smack get in there? All right, so next I could go into this little dirt paperwork, or I can tell you about the time I met Satan in the LA County jail, like the actual Satan, not like somebody named Satan, like no, like the actual Satan, not like a demon, not like whatever, like no, like I meant like actual Satan. So what y'all want to go over the little dirt paperwork? Y'all want to talk about the time I met Satan at the LA County jail? Both are cool with me. I know both stories. Frederick is my real name. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Jala. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Jala. Hey, Thiz Clinton, when you do it, you got to go Jala. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Jala. Frederick Jolly is my Jala. Jala. That got to be the next one. Jala. Frederick Jolly is my real name. Jala. Frederick Jolly is my Jala. That got to be the next one, bro. Jala. Let me get this, and then we'll see what y'all want to talk about, man. We can go into a little dark paperwork. I can tell you about the time I met Satan. Both things are interesting. Jala. Frederick Jala is my real name. Yeah, bro. Nah, man. Niggas, I met Satan a couple times. It'd be like that. Yeah. It'd be like that. All right, I got you, Thiz Clinton. Oh, I could play that too. Y'all want the audio of me cussing out WACK? I could just put that on and just run that. All right, well, look. You want to hear about the story about me meeting Satan? Drop devils in the chat, demons in the chat. If you want to hear the story of Lil Durk's paperwork, drop papers in the chat. If you want to hear the story about WACK getting cussed out, I can run that and put 100s in the chat. And then we'll just go from there. David Jala is my real name. Jala. David Jala is my Jala. David Jala is my real name. David Jala is my real name. I'm looking at a video of a nigga who just stole a CHP cruiser. Let me show y'all this real quick. I'm gonna give y'all a second to get y'all votes in. In the meantime, let me show y'all this real quick. What is this? AE Boys. Look at this, y'all.
Dennis, I want to bring back Stu. Stu, what's going on? He's jumping out of the car. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
He just bailed out of the car, out of a moving car.
Hey, I never let.
Right there on the
Dennis, I want to bring back Stu. Stu, what's going on? He's jumping out of the car. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
oh,
He just bailed out of the car, out of a moving car. Look, it just crashed into the light pole. Oh my goodness.
with the vehicle, but it's going to be
Stu, what are you seeing right now? I know we're blurring things out a bit because we don't exactly know what's going on, but he just bailed going about 70 miles an hour.
right there on the
Dennis, I want to bring back Stu. Stu, what's going on? He's jumping out of the car. Oh my.
Bro hit his head. Look at the way bro hit his head. Look at the way bro hit his head.
right there on the
Dennis, I want to bring back Stu. Stu, what's going on? He's jumping
Boom. Bro hit right on his head.
out of the car. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
oh.
He just bailed out of the car, out of a moving car. Look, it just crashed into the light pole. Oh my goodness.
with the vehicle, but it's going to be
Stu, what are you seeing right now? I know we're blurring things out a bit because we don't exactly know what's going on, but he just bailed going about 70 miles an hour.
right there on the
Dennis, I want to bring back Stu. Stu, what's going on? He's jumping out of the car. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What else goes on in this page? What else I got going on?
Smirk.
What else goes on in this page? I don't know how I ended up following this. All right. Story time. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell. David Jolly is my real name, Jala. David Jolly is my Jala. David Jolly is my real name, Jala. David Jolly is my Jala. Yeah, the ground game, bro, for sure a fresh taper fade. All right, man, story time. Let me tell you about the time I met Satan. Let's tell you about this story, man. Yep. Today, y'all. We're Trap Time at TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same. Like, cook, crack in the same, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. More to get content on it, man. It's story time. So I ain't finna hold y'all with no super deep, long intro. Just go ahead and hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button. News, reviews, knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Tap in with that tap in. Make sure I'm fact tapped in with that tap in. I don't want to give y'all an intro, but I don't. Where's my lighter? Where is my lighter? Well, since we here, no, never mind. RichTrapHouse.com. Get into that if you ain't got into that. Let's go find my lighter. Boop, boop, boop. I only buy the cheap lighters. If you ever see me with a big lighter, I stole it from somebody. Not gonna lie. You see me with a big, I stole your shit. You feel me? Not gonna lie. Hey man, I'm about to give y'all a story. Man. I'm telling you about the time I met the guy that lives up under. You feel me? The opposite of God, the Shevel. You feel me? Slayton, Slucifer. You feel me? I met Slucifer. So I'm in the Los Angeles County Jail. Y'all ever been in the LA County Jail? You know that the LA County Jail is HE double hockey sticks. I'm not, yeah, Henny, I'm live. The LA County Jail is HE double. Henny, it's story time. I'm telling you about the time I met Satan. The LA County Jail is HE double hockey sticks. I'm not talking about Wayside. Wayside is something different. The energy in the LA County Jail is something that you've never experienced before if you've never been there. You know how they say that hell is hot? I personally believe that hell is so cold, it feel hot because that's the LA County Jail, bro. It's so cold in there. You feel me? And you just never know who you will meet. Do any of y'all remember maybe it was about 2015? Let's say between, yeah, because the twins was already born. It was 2015 and somebody in Watts ran through the projects in a Prius. Not running, obviously. They slid through the projects in a Prius and they was throwing money. Does anybody remember that? 2015, yeah, because the twins was born. So 2015, 2016, you feel me? Norfolk City Jail is worse than LA. Crimson Mac, have you ever been? You ain't never been to LA County Jail, bro. So you, this Clinton, y'all remember that? Do anybody? Okay, so I met that nigga. That nigga was possessed by Satan, bro. I met that nigga. It was Jason. No, not the 40s. Not the 40s. Not the 40s. That's something different. This nigga was like in the Jordan Downs or somewhere. Was he in the Jordan Downs? He was in some projects in Watts. And he was throwing money. I'm not talking about when them niggas from 40s hit and they ran through the 40s and they was throwing money on Vernon. I ain't talking about them. I'm not talking about the 40s. I'm talking about this nigga who went into Watts and who did this. It's a different story. So, if anybody remember this, it was in Watts. Let me see. Hold on. He was in a Prius. I'll never forget this nigga. And all this is relevant. Hold on, let me see if it comes up. All this is relevant to the story. So I met bro, and we in the LA County jail. And you know how they always tell you that let me see. Bank robbery, Watts, California, Prius. Let me say 2015. Throwing money. Let me see. Nigga, this is it. This is it. So I met this nigga. This is it right here. Yep, this is it. And bro's in the Prius. And that's the nigga in the Prius. And then he goes and he ends up in Watts. Wait, is this wait. Is these the niggas from 40s? No, this is a different nigga. This is a different nigga. Is this the same nigga? No, I think this is the 40s. Yep, there's the 40s. That's when the 40s did that. But they made history too. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I think that's the 40s. Because the nigga, he was in a silver Prius. Okay, irrelevant. Anyway, yeah, Satan would drive a Prius. On God, bro, that nigga don't got no standards. Anyway, so it was a nigga. So I met bro. Okay, so backtrack. I'm gonna just get to the good part. So I'm in the LA County. I'm in there for tickets, bro. I'm not even in nothing. Like I'm the nigga who had to spend a week in there because every day I had to go to court. Traffic ticket, train ticket, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I finally got my ish together and got a car, stopped jumping the train. Y'all remember back in the day when you would get a train ticket and then you ain't pay the train ticket, so they would suspend your license and all that kind of. I'm that old. You feel me? So I'm in there for a week. And I'm sliding down Slauson. And is it like Glen Ivy, Glen Oaks? You know when you're going down Slauson and you up in the overhills, you pass overhill, you up by the gym and the Home Depot. It's a McDonald's over there, it's a Winchell's Donut. It's on the right hand side, and then it's a Shell station. If you're going towards La Brea, the gym and all that stuff is on your right hand side. You got the Winchell's Donut, you got the Home Depot, whatever else in that shopping center. Crystal Stairs is over there in your right hand side, and then on the left hand side is the Shell, and then you start going down the hill, and then Wintersnitz was right there and all that. So I'm going that way, but I'm going towards La Brea. You feel me? Bloop, bloop. No, I'm lying. I'm going towards the 60. So I'm going towards going down the hill. They blurt me. Bloop, bloop, room right there. They blurt me. I turn into the Glen Oaks and whatever. The cop tell me you got to go to Joe's warrants, blah, blah. But I'm going to let you park your car and then you can take your keys. Have somebody come get your keys. They can get your car. He wasn't tripping. All right, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to the, I was sliding east, but I wasn't going to the east side, but I was going east. So I parked the car. He take me to jail, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I know I only got warrants. So I know that I'm finna just be bouncing around. I didn't even really get housed, technically. They just kind of moved me around. I spent like a couple days in holding. I spent like 2 days in the city jail. Then I went to the IRC, and I was in just hella different like holding cells and all that kind of stuff. Because again, I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? If you come Snoop Wilpock, if you going up Slauson, whatever street that Home Depot is on, where you can make a right into the parking lot, I made a left. If I was going up Slauson, I would have made a right into the Home Depot parking lot, but I made a left. You know what I'm saying? I would have made a left going the other way, but I was going east, so I would have made a left into the Home Depot parking lot, but I made a right. You feel me? Anyway, so I finally get to the county, and they send me all. I'm the nigga that gets sent everywhere because you know they're gonna scam me to get the chili out of me. They send me to Wayside, and I remember I met a false prophet, a demon, and then I finally met Satan. I met the false prophet, bro. Just was trying to Bible thump me the whole time, bro. Was trying to Bible thump me. To the point where I told him, like, AOG, like, I get it, my nigga, but fall back, bro. Like, if you ain't trying to like get into me about this shit, my nigga, like, chill. Because yeah, he was trying to tell me about God, but he was a false prophet. And I can't really tell you what bro was saying, but in my spirit, I knew like this ain't it. Like, bro shouldn't be like, I shouldn't be taking, like, get away from me, my nigga. Like something, and again, if you've been to the LA County jail, you know what I'm talking about, bro. It's just that feeling. Like, I can't really tell you, Crow, what's the deal? I can't really tell you like what was going on, but I just knew like, hey, nigga, get the fuck away from me, bro. Like, whatever. So me and OG low-key ended up kind of getting into it. And then I remember slapping the nigga Bible. They're like, man, bro, get the fuck up out of here, my nigga. And me and OG pushed me. And I ain't gonna say I whooped on OG because I didn't, but I for sure put that nigga in the rear. I remember he pushed me and I grabbed his arm and I spent him and I rear naked choked that nigga. And I remember I choked the fuck out of OG. And I had that shit locked, like lifted on that nigga, like, bro, get up off me with that shit. And then somebody was like, it was a Mexican. Oh, fool, you're gonna get the dorm here, fool. We got business here, fool. Stop that shit. So whatever, blah, blah, he told, like, no, he went and like told the black rep told OG to get up out of there, blah, blah. That was that. So I go to sleep, I wake up, I'm now going downtown. I leave Wayside 3 a.m. Boom, we go back to downtown because Satan lives downtown. Satan don't live in East Max Wayside Pitches Detention Center, bro. Satan lives downtown. So boom, we having our little bullshit cereal. We got the eggs, we got the jelly. You gonna eat your eggs, you gonna eat your bread. You know how that shit go in the morning. You got your jelly, you got your hard-boiled egg, you put on your bread, you eat like a little egg taco and all that. You get some little cornflakes and all that kind of stuff. Your jelly and your bread and the cornflakes to make it sweet. If you got some apple jelly, you really doing it up. If you got some mixed fruit jelly, you really doing it up. If you know, don't worry about it. So I go to court. Nothing crazy because I'm going to like fucking like Downey or some shit like that. Like I had whatever, you feel me? I never had to go to CCB or nothing like that. Like I never caught cases in LA. Like I would catch cases where niggas had chili at. Like I'm in Santa Clarita at Newhall because I was over there, serving over there and doing what I was doing over there. I would catch cases in Cerritos because I'm getting money out there and all that kind of stuff. So I would have to go to Bellflower, Norwalk. Every now and again, I would have to hit like the Downey courthouse and all that kind of stuff. I had like something small, whatever, little blah, blah, blah. Does Downey have a courthouse? Oh, well, my tripping was in Norwalk, in Bellflower only for that area. I could be wrong, but either way, go, whatever. So I get, ain't nobody, I don't have phase because nigga, I'm in this bitch by myself. Nigga, it's me and a bunch of Mexicans. Like, ain't nobody, nothing against the Mexican homies, but blacks don't go to those courthouses for real, because they ain't black areas. So I remember I get back and I remember I see this one nigga, and I bounce out like it's uneventful. I bounce out in the tank with the homies and we kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like head down, I'm tripping, like quiet. You feel me? Like it was quiet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, this is an uneventful trip to court. But that's what kind of made me wonder, like, and I remember thinking to myself, like, ain't nothing happening in this motherfucker? Like, no, nothing. And it's kind of like quiet, like, but it's like a weird uncomfort. So this nigga see me, he goes, hey, bro, hey, check out this book. I promise you won't be able to read it to the end. I said, what is the book about? He said, it's a book about like all kind of spells and demons. But after you read it, you got to read this last page. And the last page is a prayer to kind of like cleanse all the shit you just read. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I try to read it and all that kind of stuff and blah, 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 this and blah, blah, that. But something kept happening. He told me, like, you're not going to be able to finish it. Something's going to happen. My nigga, I got distracted by everything. Niggas asking the guards what time it is. Niggas like tit for tatting, little flies, the county jail got gnats, little gnats and shit like that. Like I never finished that last page. So I thought that was strange. It's a nigga on the shit sleep. Yo, I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. The nigga sleep like this. He on the feet up, arms crossed, toilet paper, pillow. Y'all know the thick sleep. And I swear to God, bro, go, y'all want to hear a story? Swear to God. Bro, sleep. Toilet paper. Knocked out. He sleep. Feet up. Y'all can't see it, but my feet up. Whoa. And he just go, y'all want to hear a story? And then somebody else who was in the dorm with the nigga, or maybe, I don't know where that nigga was housed. So don't let me lie. He might have been Abel Road, Charlie Baker, Denver. I don't know. But somebody who knew the nigga was like, hey, yeah, tell the Burger King story. This how tricky Satan gets you, bro. This how tricky Satan gets you. The devil's job is to get you to engage. The devil's job is to get you to like come in. You feel me? Like, that's what it was. That's what it was, Henny. That's what it was. That's what it was. Hell yeah, I read that shit. That shit was crazy. Shout out to Henny. I'm cultured. So I'm like, bro, like, but nobody's acting weird, bro. So I just go with it. You don't want to be in the LA County jail, go with the program, bro, unless you want to be the reason. And don't nobody want to be the reason. Niggas can say whatever they want to say. You feel me? Niggas can say whatever they want to say. Don't be the reason, bro. But either way it go, bro, the devil's job is to trick you. The devil's job is to make you think that good is good, or good is bad, and bad is good. Example, I don't know if y'all remember that live that I had with Brick Baby. It was me, Brick Baby, and ODM Slim. And I cussed Brick Baby out. It's on the live, it's still up. Because Brick was like, man, yeah, you know, when you come out, I'm gonna sit you down. I'm gonna tell you what me and Loose Cannon got going on and all that kind of. Nah. I'm gonna let Henny explain the book, because if I explain it, it's gonna sound like I'm being exaggeratory. I'm gonna let Henny explain it to it, because I booked some shit. But Brick told me, man, bro, you gonna miss your blessing. You gonna miss your blessing. If you was on that live, you remember me saying it. And I remember telling Brick, you fucking idiot. Ain't that the devil's whole point? To make you think that something is good when it's not, to make you think that something is a blessing when it's not. Nigga, that ain't no blessing. Nigga, my bad. One of the homies is hitting me about more shit about Expo. He hit me from the pen. Yeah, but Brick was like, man, you gonna miss your blessing. You gonna miss your blessing. Nigga, that wasn't no blessing. Nigga, what the hell? That wasn't no blessing, nigga. You tripping. You tripping, nigga. That ain't no blessing. What the hell? The devil's whole point is to make you think that a curse is a blessing. That's how Satan work, bro. So, bro, pop up. Y'all want to hear a story? Nigga say, hey, yeah, tell the Burger King story. Nigga, I'm finna put it to y'all how you put it to me. Hey, I'm like, y'all answer me back in the chat. Hey, y'all want to hear the Burger King story? No, a nigga was like, hey, bro, tell the Burger King story. And he was like, all right, bet. So I was eating, right? I had this girl, I liked her. I took her to Burger King. Hey, Keith, I'm gonna do it the same way he did it. Hey, Keith, hey, I took this girl to Burger King, my nigga, and man, I got me a junior bacon cheeseburger and some fries. She wanted something to drink. Would you have bought her something to drink? What about you, Henny? If you had a date and you was feeling old boy and you went to Burger King, you got some chicken nuggets. He wanted something to eat? What would you have done? Same question to ask you, Keith. You know what I'm saying? And then look, Cleveland Stafford. Hey, bro, what about you? Mass Man Music. If you went to Burger King and you got something to eat and she wanted something to eat, what would you have done? How would you have handled that situation? See, me, I got a little bit of fries and all that kind of stuff like that. My man Snoop Wilpock said, yeah, okay, bet. Hey, Snoop Wilpock, what would you have got her, my nigga? So me, I had a double cheeseburger, a junior bacon cheeseburger, excuse me, and some fries. I had a Coke. I asked her what she wanted. She said she wanted a chicken sandwich, but I was like, nah, you'll probably do better with like some nuggets or something, some fries or whatever. You feel me? But then, hey, Henny, if you said you wanted a chicken sandwich and the nigga said you would do better with fries or nuggets, what would you have done? You know what I'm saying? Let me know about your answer. Hey, Stafford, just answer the question, bro. We kicking it. You feel me? You would have asked her what kind of drink she wanted. Okay, cool. You would have got her a meal deal. You would have got her something. Okay, cool. So yeah, man. So we went to Burger King and everything was cool. We slid. She wanted to go see a movie. I wanted to go see the Iron Man movie, but she wanted to see the Avengers. Hey, Reg Dog, would you have took her to see the Avengers like she wanted to, or would you have took her to see Iron Man? Because I wanted to go see Iron Man. You feel me? And I wasn't really true feeling the Avengers. I wasn't feeling like the Thanos. You know what I'm saying? I like Iron Man. Henny said she would have got her chicken sandwich. Beggars can't be choosers. It was against a burger. I would have got her something. All right, y'all cool. Y'all would have fed her. Do y'all see how I just got every one of you niggas to engage in this fucking story? I could have went through every nigga in this fucking chat. Y'all all would have engaged in this story. That's how the nigga got us. That's how the nigga got us. That's how Satan work, bro. That's how Satan work, bro. Cause it gets you in here, like start putting shit in front of you, and then you start with little by little conversation. It's a door opener. Satan cracked that door a little bit and pull you in. You see, I just pulled all you niggas into this shit. I could have got way deeper. Not even being funny. You see, I just pulled 213 motherfuckers. I could have played all you niggas just now. I could have caught all you niggas just now. I pulled every one of you niggas into the story. That's how that nigga got us. So now we in the LA County jail and we in the court tanks. The nigga got the whole shit quiet. Not just the cage we in. The nigga got all the cages quiet. And this nigga's asking questions, and niggas is all around this motherfucker answering, bro. And niggas don't know, little by little, Satan pulling them in. Little by little, Satan pulling them in. Little by little. Off Burger King questions. It was called the Burger King story, bro. You feel me? That's how they get you, my nigga. So kind of pay attention to that. And if you think that I'm just talking about Burger King, you're an idiot. It's a bigger picture. You feel me? It's a bigger picture. You feel me? So, well, that's because I ain't asked you. Then there was lunch meat. You feel me? Whoa. You tripping. We don't do no dissing. You got to get out of here. He put a blank after the foe. What's up with bro? You got to get out of here. Can't do that. Anyway, so look, as a nigga who grew up in the church, you would be like, oh, Shawty tripping. All right, so look, I'm going to tell you how I go. The nigga got the whole shit quiet, though. The whole shit quiet, not just the cage win. The whole shit quiet. He telling the story. He pulling niggas in. And my nigga, hours went by. I can't tell you what the fuck this story was about. I know that nigga pulled every motherfucker, and he's looking at niggas dead and looking at you, dead in your shit, asking you questions, and you're interacting with this nigga, and we're so bored. We so bored that we don't recognize that this nigga's playing with us, bro, because all we trying to do is pass the time. That's it. So, no, this is the nigga who woke up, Henny. The nigga who read the book, the false prophet I never seen again. The demon I never seen. The false prophet was the nigga who had the Bible. The demon was the nigga who gave me the book. I've never seen these niggas again for the rest of my fucking life. Never. And I wanted to find a picture of old boy who hit the lick because that nigga's face, and I'm gonna get to there. All right, so we doing this shit, blah, blah. So now, niggas, it's hours went by, bro. No exaggeration. I caught the early bus. Back from court, but I knew I had to go back to Wayside. So I had to go on the last bus back. So I'm the first bus back from court, but I'm the last bus back to Wayside. Nigga, I'm in this motherfucker, bro. I'm in this motherfucker. I'm here for the long haul. If you've been to LA County, you know what I mean when I say I'm in here for the long haul. So now somebody pulled out some milk carton Dominoes, and you know, we all stopped doing what we doing. Now we talk. Now bro's just talking to the niggas around us. You know what I'm saying? And we playing dominoes or whatever. And my baby mama, my first BM, she from Riverside County. So her people used to, like, I ain't gonna put her business out there, but some people, I ain't gonna say her people because that makes it seem like her family. Some people who she knew, like some people she grew up with, they people was on Go Fast on that Yistle. You feel me? But I remember when we was young, mind you, I had a baby at 12. So I've known my baby mama my whole life. When I was like 15, 16, making some money. You're gonna leave that right there. You feel me? Making some money. But they always told me, don't touch it because it'll melt in your hand and it'll go into your pores. And it brings the devil out of you. But that never made sense to me because that's like you telling me if you could touch something or, you know, you could do a substance and it could bring the devil out of you, that means that the devil is in you. You feel me? But that don't make no sense because how can the devil be in you if you have God? You feel me? How can the devil be in you if you have God? That don't make no sense. That's like saying that my 5-year-old right now got the devil in him. That don't make no sense. Now, what do make sense, you take a foreign substance and it puts the devil in you. That makes sense. But bringing the devil out of you, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. You feel me? So that don't make no sense at all. You feel me? Like, but I don't believe we have an evil. I don't believe we have an evil within. We can't be of God and have an evil within. You feel me? That don't make no sense to me. Now we could put evil within us because we have free will, for sure. But naturally having Satan in you, that don't make no sense, bro. Not the God I serve. That don't make no sense. Because you can't tell me that little 5-year-old baby that's in there right now, flipping and laughing and playing with his brothers, got Satan in him. Now something can happen in life to you welcome the devil by doing it. Boom. Now, something can happen in life that you welcome that in. You feel me? Or the drugs could be a gateway for you to be comfortable into that. But having just like, you know, your natural, I don't believe God, I don't believe Satan is in this, bro. I believe that without corruption, people are good, bro. I think that humans are good by nature without corruption. I digress. We off the point. So I talked to the dude, mind you, keep that in mind. Put the devil in you. We playing dominoes. We playing milk carton dominoes. You feel me? We playing milk carton dominoes. And we know we talking about what you here for, bro. I said, hey, I want to get one, Reg Dog. I think I'm gonna get one for Pastor Trap. I think Pastor Trap gonna do it in a nun uniform. So long story short, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, we playing dominoes. So what you in here for? What you in here for? What you in for? Oh, bullshit tickets. What the bad? I asked that nigga. I said, hey, bro, what you in here for? He said, shit, I was in a project. They said I threw away $150,000. Jason Marshall, what's the deal, fool? He said I threw away $150,000 in the projects. I said 150,000, and then he was like, yeah, 150,000. I said, nigga, where the fuck did you get $150,000 from? They say I robbed a bank. I don't remember. And then I said, really? And keep in mind, y'all, that's like 2015. I said, how you don't remember? He goes, man, shit, I was high off the Yistel. She can stay in the case right now. It's time for bed. You ready to go to bed? You try to say good night to the homies.
I want to sleep in your bed.
I'll come get you.
I can come.
Okay. I love you.
Love you.
Say good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
2 times for a P.
What the balloon?
I don't know the balloons. I gotta figure it out.
Okay.
You not gonna give them the rest? Play a pot on the playground. Let's watch all the game.
Lunchbox. Dad, I'm getting the school lunch.
Okay. You can have school lunch if that's what you want tomorrow. You want school lunch?
Yeah.
Say good night to Dejanay.
Good night.
She's right there. Love you, Bobby.
Love you.
Come on, last one.
The last one.
I'm proud of you, man. I know I'll be on your head, but you're the oldest. I expect more of you because you're going to be the one to have to carry this family. You are the oldest boy.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, man. You be doing your shit. I'm proud of you. I know I'll be on your ass. I know I'll be on your head, but I'm proud of you. And I'm so proud of the man that you're becoming. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be your dad. And I know I'll be on your ass way more than everybody else. But that's because I expect so much more of you. I love you. Love you. Go brush your teeth and stuff, big boy. You can't tell me them niggas got Satan in them, bro. That don't even make no fucking sense. Y'all just seen that moment? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That don't make no fucking sense. Now, can these little niggas be influenced by the world to do things that put Satan into them? Yes. In them right now? Fuck no. That don't even make no sense. My God is an awesome God. Dead homies. Anyway, say not. I'll whoop the shit out of you, my nigga. Salute to the father-son moment. Thank you, Henny. I appreciate that. We entered the world pure, but the world Satan's playground. As we move through this life, we become tainted, and the evil we encounter, except boom. There we go. Boom. You feel me? So, with that being said, 150,000. Where you get 150,000? Man, shit, that's how I was high. I said high off what? He said the Yistel. Nigga, I looked in bro face, and the first thing I thought was Jerry with a G. What's the deal? Nigga, it's Satan. Because it pulls the devil out of you. But I'm thinking it pulled the devil in you. That's where my mind goes. That nigga look at me. He's like, do this, and he smile. Eye contact. Nigga, we're somewhere else, bro. I get it. Hear me on this. Y'all gonna think I'm tripping. If you believe in God, you gonna feel me. If you don't believe in God, it's gonna be hard for you to feel me on this one. If you don't, just rock with me. Just rock with me and just smoke your blunt and enjoy me telling a fairy tale and just look at it like that. Your business. Your business. If you believe in God, nigga, I'm somewhere else, bro. My physical is still in that county jail. We somewhere. And it's an all-white room. And it's not the nigga who I see. I could picture his face in my head, but I can't describe it to you. You would have to see it in my head. You would have to see it in my head. You feel me? So, like, we go somewhere else. And I'm on this nigga. You took this from me. You took that person from me. You hurt me. I went through this. I went through that. And I'm blaming all my problems on Satan. All of them. And that bitch looked me dead in my face and say, what you mad at me for, nigga? Didn't you ask for that? Didn't you want that? And keep in mind, as we tell the story with my girl right here, this is 2015. You know where I was at. This is at the 101st house on Vermont. So she know where I was at in my life and that. You feel me? And I'm on this nigga. You did this. You bam. I need that. I'm tripping. That nigga looked me dead in my face and was like, nigga, what you mad at me for? You asked for this shit. I gave you what you wanted. You asked for the bitches was the first thing that nigga said. And that's relevant to my girl because she know what I was on at that point in life. When my girl first met me, I was in a poly relationship. I had 5 girlfriends. Swear to God. Swear to God, I had 5 girlfriends. And that shit wasn't living right. And I ain't saying that it wasn't living right because it was poly. You can do what you want to do if God leading your shit. God just wasn't leading my shit. Nigga, if you can get 5 bitches to be led by God in your household, do that shit. Do that shit. Do that shit. I don't think you're wrong. I just wasn't being led by God. That's where I fucked up at. So now here I am as a man, as a provider, 2 kids and 5 bitches, not leading nothing. Not lead everybody into a wall. Into a wall, not leading nothing. And that's why God didn't bless that situation, because I didn't put God first. You can have as many wives as you want to have, my nigga, as long as everybody submit to God. Your business. You feel me? So I ain't saying I wasn't living right based off having all them girls. I'm saying I wasn't living right because God wasn't leading that situation. My ego was. And ego is just a tool of the devil. And the only thing that come before death is pride and ego. Hear me and hear me again. Living homies. Ego ain't really nothing but a tool of the devil, bro. And then the only thing that come before death is your pride and your ego. Living homies. Take it how you want to, don't. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I'm on this nigga. Yeah, wooty bam. And I had to take a second. I had to stop. Damn, bro, I did ask for all this. I really did. I did. How I'm mad. How I'm upset. How I'm pissed. How I want to fight. I got money. I got jewelry. I got the baddest little woo-wops coming in and out this motherfucker. My kids are straight. I'm in the streets. Damn, I did ask for that. Because I never prayed for a wife. All I did was pray for my kids to be all right. You feel me? But I never did pray for a wife. I never did pray for peace. I never did pray for substance. I never did pray for empathy, for humanity, for understanding, for spiritual guidance, for none of that shit. I asked for bitches and money. And guess what the fuck I got? Bitches and money. You feel me? Kaden! So, you know, me and bro, wooty bammy. Do another one on the front porch for me. Wooty bammy. So that's that. You feel me? So I can't really remember somehow, whatever. Oh, they take us. We go back to Wayside. I had on some Vans. I've had on some Vans. I swear to God, it's a truth. So I could call my baby mama right now. As a matter of fact, where my other phone at? Hold on. Because y'all gonna think I'm playing. Hold on. Let's see if she answered. This is my second baby mama, not the one that's weak. Thank you, Papa. Did everybody brush their teeth? Okay. Hold on. Hey, call me back real quick. I want to ask you a quick question. So yeah, so boom, I get out. Again, I'm in there for tickets. I get out, wooty bam, blah, 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 blah. Nigga, I get home. Swear to God, bro. It's at the 101st house, the 101st Street house. I get home. I had a little bitty house. I'm in, and mind you, bro, I'm in here with 5 bitches and 2 kids. I had a 1-bedroom duplex. The bedroom was the kids' room, and I had a big ass bed that was probably like a king size bed. And that was where me and the girls and just whatever, blah, blah. I'm living in sin. Don't mind me. But the girls ain't there. And this is before I had the 5 females. This is when me and my baby mama going together. But that wasn't a guy neither. That's a different situation for a different day. I had my first one at 12. So I leave in a paper suit. LA County Jail. I leave from court. Paper suit. Y'all know the paper suits in the Bruce Lee's. I don't go get the clothes. I never go get the clothes. Anytime I've ever been locked up, I don't wear them clothes again, bro. When I go to jail in, that's that. Y'all got that outfit. Give it to charity. Give it to a homeless nigga. I'm not fucking with it. I want my chili. I want my property. Keep them clothes. I'm on my way. So I got released in a paper suit. I go downtown to go get my chili And that's that. You feel me? A couple of dollars or whatever. And I was doing, you know, I'm not like the most up. So I probably went in, had to pick up like $200 at the most. But I want my little 200. So I went and grab my little chili or whatever. I remember I had some Vans on. I got arrested in some Vans. Nigga, do you know that my baby mama opened up that refrigerator and the shoestring from the Vans was in the fucking refrigerator, bro? I swear to God. 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 The shoestring from the Vans was in the refrigerator. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, whatever. And then a fly had the same gnat from earlier in the story when I was reading the book. The same type of gnat landed on my hand and died, bro. Landed on my hand and died. Landed on my hand and died. I wish you would call back. The same type of gnat landed on my hand and died. Nigga, me and my baby mama took the shoestring outside, poured lighter fluid on it, tried to burn it. The shit wouldn't burn, bro. The shoestring, this is a Vans. Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers. These are Vans, nigga. And I wasn't chillied up then. So a pair of Vans was probably some of my nicer shoes. Nigga, that shit would not burn, bro. So later on that night, me and my baby mama, we in the bed, we sleep. She starts screaming. She started like crying and panicking. I can't move. I can't move. I can't move. Blah, blah. And da-da-da. So if you spiritual, you know what that means. If you not, look it up. And I remember, again, now we back to somewhere else. And now I'm fighting. And I'm fighting. I'm angry and whatever. And then God tell me, nigga, you not gonna never be Satan with anger, you stupid bitch. That's what God told me. Yep, God called me a stupid bitch. Sometimes you got to talk to you in ways you understand. I don't know how God talks to you, but sometimes God be like, you stupid motherfucker. And that's just that. How you talk to God is God gonna talk to you in a way that you can receive it. You feel me? God gonna talk to you in a way that you receive it. Nigga, dead homies, bro. God gonna insert gang sign here. You feel me? Give it up for the set. God is gonna give it to you how you gotta receive it. Hear me on this. So now we somewhere else again. And I'm angry and I'm fighting. And God tell me, like, bro, you're not finna win like this, bro. Like, you didn't learn from the white room? Nigga, you don't win like this. And what I learned with all that is, bro, you really can't beat evil with evil, my nigga. You really can't. You really can't, bro. You really can't beat evil with evil. You really can't. You have to beat evil with love. And it wasn't until like I approached the situation. Now, don't get it twisted. Yo, my God ain't no buster. My God ain't turned down. My God ain't rolling it up or not taking no fades. You feel me? Like, I don't know about your God, but my God get cracking. My God get cracking. Henny, can you drop that book name in the chat for me? So God ain't telling you to let a nigga fire on you and walk away. You just got to have a pure heart. If you go to war, you got to have a love intention. If you got to catch a body for love, hey, it be like that sometimes, bro. But make sure that the purity is in your soul. Make sure why you doing it is the right reason. You feel me? So we go back and get cracking on, bro. I just had to change my intention and change my purity, and I had to change my reasoning. You feel me? So when it comes for that, boom, here go the name of the book right here. Thank you, Henny. The Nero, I can never pronounce it. That's that motherfucking book. I know that. And here go the thing too. If your soul not right with God, don't pick that book up. If your soul not right with God, do not pick that book up. You don't want to do it. It's not for you if you ain't right with God. I promise you it's not. Leave it alone. Get right with God and go back to it. So the necromancer, whatever. You feel me? The necromancer, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I'm trying to think. So we get cracking. So now in life, so I win. You know what I'm saying? Boop, ba, bing, ba, boom, ba, bam. Type of, and I'm on you wouldn't understand. Hey, no opinion. If you feel like it's sorcery, I'm not even mad at you, bro. I just want y'all to believe in something. So if you believe in wizards and warlocks and sorcerers, and that's how this story got to make sense to you, so you can find out a piece of God or a higher. I don't give a damn, nigga. This shit could be a Harry Potter book. However you get close to God, I'm just here to give you the message, my nigga. What you do with it is your business. Get cracking and come back, or don't. I'm going to heaven. I'm just sharing this shit with you niggas. My soul is saved like a motherfucker. Your soul on the line. So I'm just saying. Anyway, whatever. I don't give a damn. Like, however I just want y'all to get the message. You feel me? I'm here about making sure somebody's soul gets saved. I don't even know what put this on my heart because I don't even be preaching to you niggas like that. And a lot of y'all didn't even know I had this deep of a relationship with God, but that's my business. That ain't your business because you can't go to hell for me like I can't go to heaven for you. And I don't want you niggas praying for me because everybody can't pray for you. I don't know what your demons is like. Don't pray for me. I got this. I got this. I look, and if you trust me to pray for you, whatever, but don't be praying for me. Nigga, I don't know what you got going on with God. God might not even fuck with you like that. That nigga might not be hearing your prayers. Damn, homies. God might not even fuck with you like that, bro. God might not even fuck with you like that. That nigga might be bypassing your prayers. So don't pray for me. But anyway, so the story end, you know, we do our, you know what I'm saying, our back and forth and all that. And I get the victory though, but I get the victory through God. You can call it through love. You can call it through faith. You can call it through understanding. That's your business. Just get an understanding of a higher power is all I'm preaching. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? I get it. And I haven't really had an experience like that since. Every now and again, like I could feel a little demon on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how I'll be talking like about the other bitch. I'm like, ah, that bitch, da, da, da. And you'll be like, damn, you should switch them out fast. Cause you know, you feel me? Like I can feel it. Like, get that bitch up out of here, bro. That bitch ain't right. That bitch ain't right. Get up out of that nigga ain't right. Da, da. Cause when it's of God, it ain't gonna have no question. When your relationship is of God, when your girl is of God, hear me, fellas. When your girl is of God, you ain't gotta question that shit. It's gonna be scary, but you don't gotta question it. But you don't gotta question it at all. You feel me? Because you know. And that's that. And you just trust God to guide you. So with that all being said, man, red dots to the left, y'all know the rest. Free Avenue Angel, so he's free. All right, man. So hey, do that count as red pill, blue pill content? Do that count as red pill, blue pill content? I'll just give y'all some red pill, blue pill content. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. All right. Don't take it personal. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm trying to find something real quick to kind of like go with this little message that I gave y'all, but if it don't, whatever. I don't know, bro. God didn't put it on my heart for me to give you niggas no fucking links. He put it on my heart to give you niggas the story. That nigga didn't put it on my heart to drop no links. That nigga said, tell me the story and kind of let that be that. I'm doing extra credit right now, but if I can't find it in the next 2 minutes, I'm gonna get over it. You feel me? Because God really didn't put that on my heart. And I feel like I did my piece. You feel me? And when I see homeless people, sometimes I don't feel, oh, boom, here she go. Hey, random question. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I wanted to ask you a quick question. Remember when we was living in that house on 101st? Remember that time I went to jail and then I left all my shit at jail? But then when I came home, that fucking shoestring was in the refrigerator and we couldn't figure out how the fuck that shit got there. And then you had that situation where you was like going through like paralysis. It was like a demon on you and all that shit. Do you remember when we was in a house on 101st? And then I had got locked up and I was locked up for like a week. And then I had came out. But remember, I left all my clothes at the LA County jail and I got released in a paper suit. But later that night, we found the shoestring from my Vans in the refrigerator. You remember that? Yeah. And then like later on that night, you had like the sleep paralysis and it was like a demon on you or some shit. Yeah. In one word, how would you describe that feeling? With the demon happening? Just that whole fucking shit. So, all right, I'm gonna call you back after this because I'm telling the story on YouTube, but it sounds crazy. If somebody else didn't see this shit, I would sound crazy. I'm just telling the story on YouTube. That's it. I'm just telling niggas about it, about the story. Like, and if you wouldn't have been there and I told you about it, you'd be like, nigga, what the fuck is my baby daddy on?
Yeah, I was there, so it was kind of like, it was scary.
I'm gonna call you back in a minute.
Bye.
All right. So, hey, not like that, but you see, she said she needed a tire. I didn't offer no help, but that's her. Her nigga got her. That's just my baby mama. She got a nigga. Call that nigga. With that all being said, man, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So have a relationship with God. Have a relationship with something bigger than you. You feel me? That all being said, man, I don't even know what to say, bro. I'm finna run playlists for y'all. I don't think I want to even do no more content. I think I need to go talk to my girl and cleanse my soul. So with that being said, for the rest of the night, I'm running y'all niggas playlist. I'm out of here. Y'all niggas can go enjoy the playlist. I'm about to run this Sadie Nash for y'all real quick about the little Dirk shit, but I'm done fucking with y'all for the night. I gave y'all some good God. I gave y'all some good God. I just gave y'all niggas some good God. Some real good God. Man, nigga, I don't got shit else for y'all. I did my part. I'm a real homie. I'm a real homie, bro. I'm a real homie. I be praying for you niggas. And then 100 before I go, God bless everybody in this chat. Make them better today than what they were yesterday. Make them even better tomorrow, but make sure they at their very best every single day. I just gave y'all some good guys. So I'm done fucking with y'all niggas for the night. I'm finna go smoke some weed.
Kind of said it, and if y'all want to skip, you don't want to hear me talk, go ahead and skip up a couple of minutes. But basically, Lil Durk was denied bond for a couple of reasons. And the reasons are from, what we put out the other day. But Durk and his lawyer shifted the argument to nothing but lyrics. Now, the lyrics, I think Drew's going to win that fight. I don't think that the government is going to really fight him on the lyrics because the government is basically saying, oh, no. We're not saying that that song was created, which the government is lying, but they're now capitulating, saying, we're not saying that that song basically was recorded and it basically sought to make fun of Quando Rondo and all this stuff. So basically it's an admission of guilt. They're saying, oh no, we didn't say that. We're saying that Lil Durk decided to copy and paste the freaking footage and all this crap and everything, and then put that out there, as basically doing a ha-ha moment. Those lyrics were supposed to be the lyrics to basically bury him. You can find other lyrics like in the actual song, aha, you can believe whatever you want, I got your folks here. Yeah, whatever the other lyrics is. But that's pretty much what it is. The judge basically was like, you're making your argument, well, not the judge, but the prosecution, like, you're making your whole argument off of these lyrics. And Drew's basically giving about how Dirk grew up and all this crap and everything. It sounded like an opening statement and everything. But I will say this, Drew shifting that argument like that, it don't look good. I still think Dirk is going to beat it, but it doesn't look good. I think Drew understands a couple of things. He understands messaging because Drew actually proved that Lil Durk did not book those flights to go ahead and get up out of Dodge and essentially trigger the freaking warrant. I didn't even notice. The feds had Durk's phones for a while. So the feds grabbed Durk's phone like 4 days before he actually got indicted. Durk has always just booked flights for whatever reason for 12 years. Drew's going to be able to knock out the flights part of that, which means that he was trying to run away. That's a good thing right there. Because basically they're saying this. When Lil Durk want to go on vacation, it's spare the moment. He don't care about money. He just going to go book it. And we have 12 years of him doing this. So that, and then he was going to the UAE, and the feds didn't look at the back page. So it was flying out of Switzerland to go to the UAE. Just is what it is. So there's that, but ultimately the judge said, nah. Sit your ass right here because we still, and I thought the judge was pretty damn stupid. The judge basically saying, well, because the security company is hired by you, they move at your discretion. That's not true. Like, it's not true at all, bro. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Being hired by you to impose whatever is supposed to be imposed by what the courts have already determined. But basically, they saying since Dirk did not pull the trigger and he's a shot caller, that's why they're not giving him bail. But here's the paperwork for all that. Man, subscribe to the bell to notify. Sure to keep your people aware. Have a great Monday morning. Let's go. Here you go. This is going to be Exhibit A right here. We're just going to scroll down. You already got the Dirk Bank stuff and everything like that. So let's just go. The clerk. Calling case number CR 24-621 MWF6 United States versus Dirk Banks. Counsel, please state your appearance. Ian Yaniello. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ian Yaniello, Gregory Staples, Danny Weiner on behalf of the United States, the court. Good afternoon. We're just going to say Staples. Good afternoon. Daniel, good afternoon. Drew, good afternoon, Your Honor. Drew Finland, Jonathan Berryman, Marissa Goldberg, Christy O'Connell, and Mr. Banks present. Thank you, the court. All right. Good afternoon. We are here for the detention hearing, which was continued today at the request of the defendant. Is the defense prepared to go forward today with the detention hearing? Mr. Finland, we are, Your Honor. The court. All right. Then I'll begin by asking the government to please identify what the government proffers in support of the detention request. Mr. Yaniello. Yes, Your Honor. The government proffers the complaint in this case, first superseding indictment, the brief the government filed today, along with the two exhibits, one of which was filed under seal when I spoke with counsel prior to this hearing, to the extent that there's any specifics discussed related to that exhibit, the government would ask those conversations take place at sidebar. The government also proffered the pretrial services report as well as its recommendation of detention though the government disagrees with the conclusion that flight risk is not a basis for detention. The government submits that both flight and danger are ongoing and will believe that Mr. Banks should be detained on both counts. The court. All right. Thank you. I have reviewed all of those materials and signed the order granting the government ex parte application to seal Exhibit 2. Where was the government's brief as well as all the materials, including the sealed material, served on defense counsel? Mr. Yaniello. Yes, Your Honor. The under seal portion was served, and then the patient notification would have provided notice to the service related to the publicly filed documents. The court. All right. Thank you. Then I will hear argument beginning with the government. Mr. Yaniello. Thank you, Your Honor. The government's position are set forth in its briefing. I think this room is a good barometer for a goodwill weather for the fact that the defendant is a powerful and influential man. He has significant resources, as evidenced by the proposed bond package that he submitted. But this case is about how he used that power, how he used that influence, and how he's used those resources, and he used those to promote and perpetuate violence with deadly consequence. Defendant is alleged to have committed this murder with other co-conspirators, hitmen who defendant orchestrated to fly from Chicago to conduct a brazen calculated murder in broad daylight outside one of the busiest malls in the country. About 4 p.m. in the afternoon, with cars driving by, machine gun fire rained down, attempting to murder a rival, ultimately striking somebody who was in a vehicle with that person. And by nothing short of a miracle, nobody else was killed during that encounter. The brazenness of the conduct, the allegations of the other information before the court warrant detention in this matter. There are no conditions or combination of conditions that can ensure defendant's appearance or mitigate the risk of continued danger to both the community and witness in this case. The court. You referenced pretrial services recommendation with regard to the risk of flight. Could you just give a bit more background to the reason why the government contends that detention is warranted here based on serious flight risk? Mr. Yaniello. Sure, Your Honor. I think let's go back in time to some of what happened here. So following the murder, defendants' co-conspirators were charged in an indictment. And the date that the indictment was unsealed, the FBI conducted multiple search warrants, made arrests for those co-defendants. Defendant was not yet indicted or charged in this case. On that same day, defendant booked. FBI received notice that the defendant was booked on 3 international flights. At least one of which we believe multiple of those flights were destined for Dubai. but at least one of those flights was destined to a non-extradition country. Defendant was ultimately arrested pursuant to a complaint at the airport, essentially prepared to board that flight with luggage and everything else. So the government submits that the evidence is defendant's intent. As the walls were closing in, he attempted to flee. He attempted to board an international flight. And now that he's fully aware of the FBI's ability to track flight records and track boarding records, and so the government believes that he's a sophisticated, smart man to the extent that he wants to flee, he's going to be able to do it by not booking a flight and simply crossing the border. Just south of us, that's a couple hour car ride. The court. All right. Thank you, counsel. All right. I will hear from the defense. I received a binder from the defense with 4 tabs with various documents, which was delivered to court today, and I have reviewed all of those materials. I'll hear argument from the defense. Mr. Finland, Your Honor, Mr. Berman is going to begin our presentation. I'll follow up with the court's permission. The court. All right. Thank you, Mr. Finland. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Jonathan Berryman. Thank you, Judge. And in the way that we have it divided up is I'm going through some of the mitigation and personal details of Mr. Banks' life growing up in Chicago. And then Mr. Finland is going to follow up with some of his professional accomplishments, connections, and all the things that he has done in his professional life as a music artist. Judge, in terms of Mr. Banks, the court. Hold on a minute. Mr. Berryman, sure. Clerk speaks for court. The court. All right. Would you please go to the list turn? Mr. Berryman, yes. Thank you, Judge. Judge, in terms of Mr. Banks' background, he grew up, he was born and raised in Chicago on the south side of Chicago in the Inglewood neighborhood. It is one of the most economically depressed neighborhoods in Chicago. He was raised by a woman that is here in court today, LaShonda Woodward, who's in the first row here in the court in the white shirt, is his mother. She raised him along with his grandmother, Hattie, in a house at 7220 South Halstead in Chicago. He was raised there in a home surrounded by 5 siblings. He had an older brother by the name of Dante, and he also has a father by the name of Dante Banks, who had, at a very early age in Mr. Banks' life, was incarcerated at 7 months old. Mr. Banks' dad was incarcerated up until a period of time a few years ago. Since Mr. Banks' father has come home, he's a man of faith now. He is somebody that participates in his faith community and in his family. And he's dedicated to his community in Chicago. He has worked with the Chicago CRED, C-R-E-D, which is a gun violence reduction program that was started by former U.S. Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, in Chicago. And essentially, Judge, growing up in Inglewood, Mr. Banks was no doubt surrounded by violence, gangs, drugs, and music was his way out of that community. His mom talks about him writing at an early age, and it was his way to express himself about what he was feeling at the time and what he was going through in Chicago. And in around the time that he was 17, 18 years old, he started to make a name for himself. In 2012, him and his older brother started a group, Only the Family, which was fittingly named Only the Family because it was him and his older brother, Dante. And in 2013, Def Jam Records signed Mr. Banks to a multi-record deal that ultimately allowed Mr. Banks to move out of Chicago, move his family out of Chicago, and he moved to Atlanta in Fulton County, where he lived for a couple of years. Once he was in Fulton County, and Judge, you do have a pretrial report that has a criminal case from Fulton County. We have shared documents from that case. It was a dismissed case, but ultimately, we have shared documents both with the government and pretrial services that show that after Mr. Banks was arrested in that case, he was arrested with a couple of co-defendants, that he was in strict compliance with the Judge Farmer's orders there. He was initially set 2 conditions that included GPS monitor, curfew, reported, no contact with any witnesses, and because of his strict compliance, George Farmer, over time, eased the conditions. He allowed Mr. Banks to continue to engage in gainful employment as a musician and a recording artist. He traveled with the consent and permission of the court, both in this country and also internationally. And since the last time he moved out of Chicago, he has traveled extensively for business purposes. Judge, and I think in the court. Let me just ask you a question with regard to, you mentioned that he was being supervised by the court or under supervision order of the court in Fulton County. Was he under that supervision order at the time of the conduct that is alleged in this case? Mr. Berryman, we had just looked at the documents. I ultimately think the declination of the prosecution happened October 17, 2022. The allegation that is at the heart of this case is from about 2 months earlier, August 19, 2022. I think he was still under supervision at that time. Judge, Obviously, we contest his involvement and what he's charged in this case. But, Judge, I think at this time it was the district attorney in Fulton County was in process of essentially dismissing that case. And so, Judge, but in that case, there was never a suggestion of any type of violation. And because he was doing so well on pretrial services, Judge Farmer there allowed him to travel, continue to support his family, and continue to engage in gainful employment. Judge, some of the other good things about Mr. Banks is that he did move out of Chicago and he moved to Atlanta for a couple of years. And ultimately something that you don't always have when you have people that were born in other states is that Mr. Banks actually has extensive social and economic ties to this district, the Central District of California, and that he lived here and has lived here for the last several years, that he moved to Los Angeles in 2019. Also, Judge, in terms of his good works and his acts of service, he founded a foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization called Neighborhood Heroes. The CEO of that foundation is here in court, Kevin Freeman, who's the gentleman raising his hand in the court row right there. And some of the things that they did in Chicago and elsewhere was in April of 2020. They helped bring hot meals to frontline workers in Chicago at Mercy Hospital. They helped feed thousands of families for Thanksgiving in 2021 and 2022. And they have encouraged education in communities in Chicago, Atlanta, and elsewhere for young people to be able to go to college in historic HBCUs and Howard University. They have allowed young people to be able to live their full potential like Mr. Banks has done. Judge, his story it's one of maturity, it's one of growth, and it's one of trying to do better for him and his family. And Judge, that's all I have to say in terms of the personal aspect. I think Mr. Phelan will follow up with some personal details about the court. And I have just, Mr. Berryman, his life as an artist, the court. One question about something you said, just so I understand. He has lived in Los Angeles in the Central District of California since 2019. Mr. Berryman, or Brayman, sorry, Mr. Brayman. I'm gonna stop saying Berryman. Mr. Brayman, yes, Judge. And I think it's reflected. I just read the pretrial report that we received. I believe it's reflected in the pretrial report 2019. And then I think up until June or July 2024, he does own a property in Florida. He owns 2 properties in Georgia, which are part of the bond submission. And I'll let Mr. Phelan follow up with that information, the court. All right, thank you. Mr. Brayman, thank you, Judge. Mr. Phelan, Your Honor, my name is Drew Phelan. Thank you for the privilege of appearing here today. I do want to add some context. I know you asked Mr. Brayman about Fulton County. My law partner, Marissa Goldberg, and I offer our services in Fulton County. That's where my career is. One of my daughters is a public defender there. My son I was a public defender, so I know the county pretty well. And I just for a second want to give you some context. That case that involved government there, Fulton County, the district attorney's office declined to prosecute is a case that takes RICO cases and gang cases very seriously. They seldom decline to prosecute a case. You may know from news that they pursued a RICO case and continue to stand by a RICO case against the former president of the United States of America. They made national news with a 2-year trial in the YSL RICO case. They tried the YFN RICO case. All of these are gang-related cases where the attorneys, I can assure you, because we've been a part of some of them, have begged for decline in prosecutions. Our district attorney, because that's where I live, Fonnie Willis, seldom will decline a case. So it's quite a statement that she declined to prosecute this case, coupled with the fact that the Honorable Judge Farmer, Judge Kevin Farmer, is a no-nonsense judge. So he had to sign off on that decline case. That combination says a lot about the potency of that particular prosecution. Your Honor, I do want to immediately respond. There's some issues I want to get to, and respectfully, the government began their presentation by looking over their right and left shoulder and telling you that this was a testament to the powerful and influential nature of Mr. Banks. I will respectfully disagree with counsel. I would rather, I say rather the interest in Mr. Banks because, quite frankly, I didn't know a lot about him before I became his lawyer. But what I have learned is really common, which is that there is an interest level in him in the community and the media for some reasons that Mr. Brayman alluded to. And that is a young man whose dad went to jail when he was just 7 months old and was raised in a 3-bedroom apartment with his mother, aunt, his brother, and 2 sisters. And literally as is reported, spent many of those years literally sleeping on the floor as his mom tried to survive. But as Mr. Brayman mentioned, he then turned to music, and that really changed his life. So I want to, for our purposes, talk about two important issues. The government, of course, took the position that they disagreed, and I'll get to that in a second. With the pretrial services report, and respectfully, we disagree with the report because it finds a reason to detain our client. We think, as the package reflects, and I will talk about it in a few minutes, that he should be released with strict conditions on bail. But first, I want to talk about the appearance of Mr. Banks as required because nevertheless, the government contested that's something for the court to take into consideration. Again, respectfully, to counsel for the government, I don't think that if he's released, there's nothing that we found that indicates this is the first I've heard about it. There's some concern that he's 2 hours from the Mexican border. I've not seen anything to do that with this case. However, it is true that Mr. Banks, as so many people in this situation, travel internationally. He is an international recording artist, and I will tell you that he has flown to Dubai, absolutely, over the last 2 years, and there's reasons for that. One, of course, in 2019, after waiting to have a relationship and to be with his dad, other than in jail visits, his dad was out. His dad turned to the Muslim faith. He in turn embraced the Muslim faith, and of course, to many, the heartland of that faith is in UAE. He spent time there. But importantly, that is a big part of his profession. Having a relationship in the UAE, I will tell you, Your Honor, that we come from Atlanta, the kind of, some people call it hip hop Hollywood. It's impossible to get a fight because of the music industry. Goes back and forth there. That is a big place for a performance. Mr. Banks has performed there. And if you have made it in the musical genre, that is an incredible place to make an income. So that is not unusual. And so the record is really clear that he has flown to the UAE. We don't deny that. We don't debate that. We don't fight that. In fact, he was just 4 days before he was taken into custody, 4 days before he came back, from being in London. This is referred to in some of the documents you received. He was in the UK, and I want to tell the court why he was in the UK, because he was in the UK because Mr. Banks, who is our position, is not a threat to the community. It's not a threat to leave the jurisdiction, but respect the rules and direction of the court. He was in the UK as a guest of the NFL Chicago Bears. He actually was in a suite watching the game with the mayor of London and mayor of Chicago. He was a guest of the Chicago Bears. He actually spent time with Roger Goodell, the commissioner. So these are the kind of people that have embraced him because of his community outreach. We'll talk about that in a second. He comes back from that trip to the UK, and that's when he has, as Your Honor can see from some of the documents, there's a search warrant for his phone. Now, if he's so concerned about fleeing jurisdiction of anywhere in the United States and heading for the Mexico border, heading for somewhere else, when his phone is taken from him, if he's so concerned about what's going on to be that phone, that's time to leave. But what does happen is exactly 4 days after his phone is taken by government, the FBI, so they can look into it, he performs in front of 19,000 plus people in an arena, the United Arena in Chicago, for a birthday celebration for himself. Sold out. He's in front of 19,000 people performing. So there was no fear on his part that they had his phone, and for 4 days later, he's going to take off. But rather, he does his performance. And so I want to address for a second, the government told you that he has this concern and book these flights. I will tell you that I agree with the government. There were reservations that were made because he was going to the UAE, and we looked at documents, and I want to share something with the court there. I know the government wasn't specific, but looking at the original complaint in some of the documents, there was this belief that there was a reservation to Dubai. Then there was a reservation to Switzerland, and ultimately a private flight. I will tell you, we've been trying to gather the private flight information, and it appears over approximately a 13-month period of time, he took as many as 24 private flights. Good decision or bad decision economically, that is part of his music industry. They keep the private flight companies, the charter flights very, very busy, but specifically I will share, and I'm going to give a copy because I want to share this with the government so that we can correct their understanding. This is the e-ticket. Counsel, and Your Honor, would you like me to give it to the clerk so they can give it to you? The court. You can approach and hand it to my court deputy, Mr. Finlan. Okay, pause. Mr. Finlan, And Your Honor, we'd be happy to mark these at the end of the hearing for the convenience of everybody. We're keeping track of them. And so we'll mark them at the conclusion, not to take away from the flow of the hearing. And I think there was some confusion. And I know that our colleagues from the government are relying on agents to get them this information. So I don't in any way think this is a fault, deliberate, but you'll see that this was the ultimate destination, actually the UAE. So there was a flight from Florida to Newark to Paris, to Zurich, Then the third part of the ticket is Zurich to Dubai. For some reason, whoever researched this case for the government took the position that it ended at Zurich. Had that person or persons done that additional research and just flipped over to the next page when they did their investigation, they would have seen that this was ultimately going to the UAE. Now, here's what happens is that Mr. Banks has gotten to the point of his life. Maybe he grew up under the most dire socioeconomic circumstances, but you'll see he was only able to get a reservation for this 24-hour trek on economy. And he made a decision to ultimately book a private plane. And that's, as the government said, when he was taken into custody, unequivocally. He was taking that private plane, which was going to change in Europe, I believe in Italy, but ultimately that was going to go to the UAE as well. But there was no flight to Switzerland, the court. So just so I'm clear, the e-ticket itinerary and receipt that you just provided me for this flight, Mr. Banks did not take a flight on United Airlines, Mr. Finland. That's correct. The court. He was prepared to board a private plane in Miami, correct? Mr. Finland. That is correct, Your Honor. All right. Mr. Finland. And we have talked with everybody involved in his world. It is not unusual, and it is not unusual for business folks to make reservations and then pick the flight that works best for them. He opted to, although he never got on it, to not sit in it. Whatever it was, an economy for a 24-hour trek, but to fly private. We've done our due diligence and been able to determine again in about a 12 or 13-month period, as many as 24 private flights. So this is not something inconsistent with his lifestyle, the court. Let me just ask you then, this United States airline ticket was booked at the last minute because it is, as you said, it's an economy ticket, Mr. Finley. Yes, the court. Part of it is economy because it was booked at the last minute, Mr. Finley. That's correct, Your Honor. The court. Okay. Mr. Philly. Yes. This was not done. And from our understanding, this is the way he's always booking things, or he's always booking things. And I can just tell you from our representation of folks in the industry, they're not doing like my wife and I do, which is book things a month in advance because we're anxiety ridden about not getting a flight. Everything is last minute. This is apparently not inconsistent with how he travels. But we were able to determine these flights to UAE are not unusual for him. In fact, something that is more usual than not, Your Honor, when the court. All right, let me just ask you, if you know, does the United States have an extradition treaty with the United Arab, I don't even know how to say this, Emirates, Mr. Finland? So we've looked into it. We do not see there's an extradition treaty between the countries. And of course, he's been going back and forth there. So this would have been, I would say that this would be a concern if this were his first time going there, but he has deep roots there. And in fact, I know there's another witness in this case that has received a subject letter that went there and came back to meet with the government, was my understanding from one of the attorneys in the case. So it is just not an unusual place to go. Again, this would be an issue if he had never gone. Counsel confirmed, Mr. Finley. So my counsel's telling me there's a MLAT since 2022 with the UAE, Mr. Finley, Your Honor. So the issue of flight, I'm glad pretrial services took the position that under certain circumstances, particularly, I think, mirroring what we suggested for Mr. Banks, flight is not an issue. I'm kind of at the point where I can't believe I've been doing this career so long, but I actually find in cases like this fight is really not an issue. And here's why in this particularly subjectively fight is not an issue. The government's position is that Mr. Banks, who's internationally recognized, with his presence on everything on the internet, hard copy of magazines, TV, is going to somehow go on the run, go on the on the 1 a.m., pardon me. And when he does that, when he does that, not only give up his career that he's built to escape poverty so that he can provide for his family, you can see that in the bail package, he bought his mom a beautiful home that he's willing to put as part of the package to secure his appearance. But he's going to leave his wife. He's going to leave the 2 children, which he has with her, and his 6 other children. He's going to leave 8 children that I know pretrial services dotted their I's across their T's to know that he has always financially stepped up and assumed the responsibility of taking care of his children. He's going to leave his mom, who he gave his life to. He's going to leave his dad, who he waited 26 years so he could have this relationship, a relationship that was interrupted because in 2019, his dad gets out. And when we all get slowed down for 2 years from COVID, so he's finally first embracing this loving relationship with his dad, enjoying being part of the same faith together. But he's going to leave his dad. He's going to leave his wife. He's going to leave his kids. He's going to leave his career. And we're going to get to, in a second, leave the amazing community work that he's done respectfully to Mr. Braman, not just locally throughout the United States. I mean, this is, as we found out, this isn't a hip hop performer that gives away backpacks on Labor Day weekend and a few turkeys. This is an incredible amount of community service that he does on a regular basis. He's going to give up all of that. And I just think that there's something to indicate that, particularly with his new theory that he's going to go to Mexico, because I can't respond to that because I don't know anything about that. The other issue that we have to address, Your Honor, is whether or not he is a threat to the safety of any other person in the community. Now, this is an important issue. And when we deal with him, let me just say this, Your Honor. Based on what the government said, the government conflates him individually and him with OTF. Only the family, which Mr. Braman went into a little bit. I'm going to distinguish the two of those for you for a second. And first, I want to talk about him individually. So, 1 second, pause. Mr. Fillon, the 1 second, counsel confer. Mr. Fillon. So, Your Honor, if you look at counsel confer, Mr. Fillon, if you look at the indictment, and I will tell you in the indictment, every time we read one of these kind of look for that proverbial smoking gun, and if you look at page 2 of the indictment, page 3 of the indictment, paragraph 6, it says reading, following the attempted murder of TB and the murder of SR, defendant Banks sought to commercialize SR's death by rapping about his revenge on TB with music that explicitly references audio from a news clip taken shortly after SR. The court, you're quoting from the indictment. Page 3 of the indictment, Mr. Fillon. Yes, Your Honor. Page 3 of the first superseding indictment, paragraph 6. The court, okay. Mr. Fillon, yes. The court, got it. Mr. Fillon, reading. Following the attempted murder of TB and the murder of SR, defendant Banks sought to commercialize SR's death by rapping about his revenge on TB with music that explicitly references audio from a news clip taken shortly after SR's murder when TB screamed, no. After saying SR's body, I'm assuming I meant to say sing. And then it has lyrics. Your Honor, can look at the lyrics. I don't want to embarrass myself and try to do that. And so the big thing there is the proverbial smoking gun is that this indictment takes place and months later, Mr. Banks put out a song to celebrate it and commercialize it. Immediately, when we got in the case, we heard from multiple people in the music industry that read about this because it became a big news story. The press loved this, him celebrating and doing that. And everybody said, hold on a second. When you do music, you don't just record a song. It's a long process. Not unlike movies, right? We're here in LA. Sometimes they'll make a movie in 2022 and it doesn't come out until 2024. It's the same exact thing in music. Your Honor, that song was recorded approximately 8 months before that incident took place. We have a declaration by the music producer, Justin Gibson. We have all the timestamps from the producer. And you could see that this takes place instead of August 2022 when the incident takes place. The music was produced, these lyrics performed by our client approximately 7 months before in January of 2022. I'm going to show this to the government, then tender it to the court. Mr. Yanello, Your Honor, we actually object to this proffer, this line of argument. The bottom line is there was a video that was filmed showing the defendant's rival screaming, no, that was placed over these lyrics. So independent of when the lyrics actually were written and whether this was about Mr. Banks sanctioning some other murder, which the government submitted evidence showing that there were other monetary bounties placed on rivals and to solicit murder. So independent of who this was ultimately about, the commercialization and this allegation is nonetheless valid. And I also would object to the counsel's point, the proverbial smoking gun. The indictment lists significant evidence related to Mr. Banks' involvement in the criminal activity. Mr. Finley, look, Your Honor, let me say this about this issue because we really discussed the ethics of this situation, and I want counsel to know I'm not saying counsel try to slip one, by anybody, but I know that counsel relies on agents to make their cases. They're not out there they're relying on agents to make this case. This was presented to a grand jury, and respectfully, somebody testified in front of the grand jury about paragraph 6, and paragraph 6 does not echo the sentiment of what you just heard from the government. Paragraph 6, as presented to a grand jury, specifically said that these lyrics were composed and produced to celebrate this shooting indictment that is the heart of the case, and that this is provably false. And had any of our clients have been subpoenaed to a grand jury, done something like that, they would be in big, big trouble. So this is an important issue when the court is determining particularly the second part of this analysis, because we know the pretrial service report says, hey, we think under the right conditions, we can ensure that he will show up for court as required by Your Honor. But we're concerned about dangerousness. And this is a big fact when you read the indictment, I can tell you for what it's worth. It's the one the press wants to write about the most, and it's just provably false. So if I could present it to the court, you can present it, but it would be helpful if you focus your argument on the allegations that suggest that the defendant presents a danger to the community, and the consistency and timing of the lyrics has some relevance. Mr. Finley, okay, understood, the court. But marginal to the dangerousness issue, which is the issue before me today. Mr. Finley, understood. Mr. Yanello. And Your Honor, if I may, just to clarify the record, Mr. Finley was arguing, I understand, very passionately about it. There's nothing in paragraph 6 that talk about when it was produced or written. So the government, again, objects with that or objects to that characterization and disagrees with it. Pause. The court. All right. You can provide the information to my courtroom deputy, Mr. Finley. Okay, thanks, Mr. Finley. So, Your Honor, regarding these relevant time periods that we are talking about, all we know is we got hit with something last night about some confidential information of what a confidential information says, but we have nothing presented by the government as part of this hearing that is showing any violent activity during this relevant time period by our client. I mean, I do these hearings relentlessly, and they're involving a shooting incident and a stabbing incident and a fighting incident and another one, some unknown incident that may not charge for out of Chicago. There's no charges out of Chicago. Mr. Brayman has done a yeoman's job at trying to keep up with that. There's no apparent case in Chicago. We have nothing. The only thing that we are given is a dismissed case in Fulton County and some unknown person that a cooperator that's casting allegations at our client. Other than that, there's nothing of substance to indicate that he is a perpetrator of violent activity, and particularly because this incident resulting in this case takes place in 2022. I mean, we're now in, excess of 2 years goes by, and there's nothing to indicate that there's anything hands-on that he's been involved in. The only thing he's been involved in is what I'm about to turn to. And that is, and you'll note in one of the footnotes, an agent says something to the effect that he tries to distance himself by involving himself in community service and that he can't be anything further from the truth. And that can't be anything further than the truth, sorry. From 2020 through this period of time, while there's nothing provable, substantive that the government could tender you to show that he's a threat to people, that he's violent, okay, we can do that. We can show you exactly what Mr. Brayman was referencing, and that is the robust community service that he's been involved in. Pause. Unidentified speaker. Judge, may I approach the court? Yes, Mr. Finley. So here's what our client has done in the relevant periods that we're actually talking about. Right from 2020 to 2024, he's established the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation during COVID. You can see from this, he's actively involved in giving support to the folks that were helping all of us survive during that period. Medical workers, first responders. And this wasn't as I said, some kind of, give away a few turkeys and give away a few backpacks. We're talking about the employment of an executive director, Mr. Freeman, who's here with us today, a professional at working with nonprofits, having a chairman of the board, having a board of directors, and his outreach is not only in Chicago, but was in Atlanta and even Houston and elsewhere. So during this period of time, he was literally physically involved in extensive work with the community. That's provable. That's not hearsay. It's not coming from somebody that's trying to cut a deal and help themselves in whatever case that they may have. That's provable work by business executives that have joined with him through his tremendous effort. So that's, Your Honor, what we do know. The government reference, and I said that there was kind of this conflating of him and only the family, Your Honor. And I'll be happy to share with the court. Only the Family was duly incorporated in 2012. We've interviewed extensively the transactional lawyer from Chicago that did that. It is a corporation. And at the same as you can see, Mr. Banks, he eventually signs with Alamo, which is a division of Sony. The COO of Sony, of Alamo division of Sony, is here supporting him. If you'd be kind enough to stand up. So this division of Sony stands by his side. You can actually see that they have pledged that if he's able to put together his bail package, they will put up $1 million in cash to support him. All right. But that's him individually. But in the music world, as we've learned, there's your individual success. But what everybody wants to do is to also start your own label. And that's what he did with OTF, Only the Family. Because to sign other people and build your industry, you have a greater profit center. And that's what he did in 2012. So in 2012, he duly incorporates and starts Only the Family. And then that grows. And in 2020 and 2021, he reaches a relationship for Only the Family with Epic Records, a distributor out of San Francisco. And so he's not only incorporated, but now extends that and broadens it by entering into a relationship with Epic Records out of San Francisco. And the agreement is that Only the Family has to get other artists, and they actually commit to getting other artists. Each artist, I think, has to put out 17 songs each, and they recommit from 2020 to 2021. And then last year, he reaches yet another agreement with another division of Sony, AWOL, where Astronaut Sounds, which is his LLC that does its transactions as Only the Family, through yet another transactional lawyer, very, very well known, Hector Baldando. What the hell? Baldando? I don't know. Whatever. I don't give a shit. One of the biggest entertainment lawyers in the country reaches this deal with AWOL, which is sold for like $1 billion or $2 billion to Sony, so that OTF can have a relationship with that division. Mr. Norva didn't from AWOL division. The Sony is here. Mr. Finley, if you stand up, thank you, sir. Mr. Cianello. Drew, my apologies to interrupt, but Your Honor, we'll stipulate to the defendant being a successful music artist. This case isn't about that. It's about his control of the label that he referenced here, OTF. But more importantly, the violent crime that is the issue here. So, Your Honor, ask counsel to address specific issue of danger. And again, we don't see any of this as being relevant to that. Mr. Phillip, well, it is, Your Honor, because the indictment specifically says that OTF is a violent gang. OTF is a duly incorporated organization that has reached a relationship through transactional lawyers with two major corporations that vet the people that they do business with. I don't think a division of Sony is going to sit down and create a deal for hundreds of thousands of dollars with Only the Family, and specifically Dirk Banks, if through their vetting process they think that they are getting in bed with a criminal organization led by a criminal gang leader. I don't think that Alamo Records, another division of Sony, is going to do that either. I don't think Empire Records out of San Francisco, extremely well known in corporate circles, is going to get in that relationship. So the government's picture that they presented to Your Honor, and that is in those documents that are part of the record, is that all he is a gang leader. And that's just not true. And we don't know about the actions of others. We don't know what other people are responsible for, but we know this, that there is nothing that shows during this relevant time period other than complete conjecture that Dirk Banks himself done anything. And the reason these are relevant facts is because you have to balance respectfully that conjure from provable facts, because those are not provable facts. These are provable facts. So I appreciate the stipulation because the stipulation is that he's a law-abiding citizen. The stipulation is that he's no different than any other person trying to establish a corporate entity so that he can succeed individually and collectively for his organization and for his family. So I think that it's the government that has not been able to, in a very brief recitation, show that somehow he's a threat to everybody in the community, because other than this isolated incident that other people are directly involved in, not him, they have not been able to put their finger on anything other than an email at 10 o'clock last night about a case that he truly has nothing to do with, that prosecutors have not pursued him in another jurisdiction. And so we understand that bail is not guaranteed, but there has to be, from the government's perspective, from their perspective, not ours, a certain balance that they have to exceed, and that just hasn't happened here. So yes, we're loading down with things because we're doing that because we'd be doing it if he were in an insurance business. We'd be doing that if he was a lawyer or a CPA. And I think it's important for the court to balance these personal and professional success. And more importantly, if the documents that you indicated, and I appreciate that you reviewed at the beginning, say OTF, 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 for this court to understand that he has taken every step that you would expect somebody that's really, look at his education, right? It's in the report. He doesn't even have his GED, but he knows enough to go from one transactional lawyer local in Chicago to getting to the point just in the last 2 years where he hired one of the most well-known transactional lawyers in America to take only the family and himself to yet another level. All those things are to be taken into consideration. And so I think if we couple that, Your Honor, with the package, and I appreciate you looking at it, we think that, as the court knows, under the Bail Reform Act, the court needs to respectfully look at the last restrictive condition or combination of conditions that will ensure that Mr. Banks will appear, and also for the safety of the community. And so I don't think, the government's response in their filing is that he's trying to use his money, and honestly, I don't even understand how I'm supposed to respond to that. If you don't have money, then you have a problem. If you have some money, you're trying to use it to create conditions that will work. And that's what we're trying to do for Your Honor. We've been in contact through his management. We're ready to put him in a property. I'm not going to say it out loud. The court has the location. We have really taken the issue of security seriously. I want the court to know that in good faith, we have pursued cases that we've worked on and our colleagues around the country. We try to put conditions that are similar with some other similar cases with very similar charges around the United States. And so we're trying to create a 24/7 security. And I want the court to know that if the court thinks that this is a threshold and you want us to take it up a notch or 12 notches, and it takes us a month to satisfy what the court wants us to do, we'll do that. We just thought we would go for what we thought was strict as possible. And so we like the security company that we interviewed. We studied the qualifications of we literally studied the qualifications of each and every person. So you could see in our package that we offered with the security company, we didn't want people to have, play college football or stop playing in college football and were bouncers at a bar and now they'd be security. You'll know that we provided you with the background of every single person that will be there 24/7, each of them. We vetted each of them when we selected this company. We provided the information regarding his employment because that's an issue. And that's where you see from the COO of Alamo, he can continue in a way that would be agreeable to be employed if he could due to it while he's in detention, home detention. We can work that out. That's happened with others. There are ways that I know through other similar cases, if the person is permitted to be employed, that they can do work at home. They can we picked a home that if it was possible, he can record music. If the court wanted a system where he had to review lyrics, we've done that as well. Marissa and my associates say they are the only lawyers in America that went to law school that have to read lyrics. But if we need to do that, whatever we need to do, as restrictive as the court says, we will do. We listed and requested his finances regarding the properties. We furnished information. You can see we gave you unencumbered property, both in Brazelton, Georgia, Northwood Neck County, a very popular suburban county in Georgia. I think we have one property, 1.6 and 7 point, that combines to $2.3 million of unencumbered property that will pledge. Your Honor knows that we've already have $1 million cash commitment. I could tell you if the court says to us, I think that it needs to be financially this number. We have offers coming in by people in the business world, literally people in the business world that so stand behind Mr. Banks. These offers are coming in. We literally put the pause button because we want to see if the court says, you know what? This is really good enough. Not many people can do something like this. But if the court says, given the facts and circumstances of the case, it needs to be X dollars, then we'll take the time to reach that. But we have no doubt that with the business community that's reached out to us, and I don't mean the music community, I mean the business community that's reached out, we can achieve additional equity or third-party guarantors. We think that this combination constitutes a sufficient bail package under this set of circumstances, and we're willing to entertain any suggestions or questions that the court may have. If I could just ask my counsel anything else they want me to add, the court certainly. Counsel confirm, Mr. Felon, that's all, Your Honor. The court. All right, thank you, counsel. I note that pretrial services is here. Does pretrial services have anything that they would like to add with regard to your report and recommendations? Fatima Vasquez, good afternoon, Your Honor. Fatima Vasquez with the probation and pretrial services. Nothing further, Your Honor, from us. Thank you, the court. All right, thank you. All right, does the government have a response, Mr. Yanello? Briefly, Your Honor, the court. And if you could please go to lectern, Mr. Yanello, sure. So, Your Honor, most of what counsel just articulated, again, I objected twice. I don't see as responsive or relevant to the narrow issue before Your Honor, whether or not conditions or combination of conditions can reasonably assure the defendant's appearance or mitigate danger to the community. So what essentially has been offered is Mr. Banks has offered a small portion of his net worth and then sureties by others, including the corporate surety, and then a security company that's offering physical security, as the allegations in this case make abundantly clear. Mr. Banks wasn't on the street pulling the trigger. He was the one who allegedly orchestrated it. He was given a green light to book the fights. In fact, as one of the OTF associates, somebody working for the label was booking the fights for 5 co-conspirators to fight in LA to commit this murder, Mr. Banks, as alleged in the indictment, sends a text message. Don't put my name on those fights. So Mr. Banks knew exactly what was going on. And he helped facilitate this murder as the leader of the organization. Counsel didn't really address much of what the indictment actually alleges and instead focused on the portion that referenced rap lyrics. But we submit to Your Honor, this indictment is lengthy and includes allegations that show Mr. Banks' significant involvement in the murder. With that, again, the murder was committed through intermediaries and the physical surveillance company that counsel's offering to mitigate flight, and the danger really offers no mitigation of that. He could still, nothing about that prevents him from intimidating witnesses, instructing intermediaries, sending text messages. So the government stands by its briefing and requests that the court detain the defendant, Mr. Felon. Your Honor, if I can, the court. All right, thank you, counsel. Mr. Felon, if I can add, we'd be willing to surrender telephonic communication devices. You know, Ms. Goldberg and I have been through this before. There's a rule regarding telephonic communication devices. We would abide by that. And we also have reached out to a third party, which is counsel in the federal cases. But if the court wanted a bonding company to be a third party involved, we've already made contact and have one that's willing to get involved if necessary. The court, all right, is there anything further from the defense? Mr. Felon, no, Your Honor. The court, from government. Mr. Yanello, no, Your Honor. The court, all right. I reviewed the materials that I indicated at the beginning of the hearing, that I identified at the beginning of the hearing. And I have also reviewed the materials that were submitted by the defense at the hearing, the e-ticket itinerary and receipt and Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. It's like a printout from a slide deck that looks to be about 30 pages with counsel referenced during the argument. All right. Based on the violations that are charged, what the defendant is charged in the first superseding indictment, there's a presumption in this case that the defendant is both a danger to community and risks a fight. The defense has the burden of producing or proffering evidence to rebut the presumption, and the defense has proffered a considerable amount of evidence, which the court has taken into account. The presumption does nonetheless remain in the case, although I will note that particularly with regard to the risks of flight, the defense has proffered considerable information, and I recognize the community service that is reflected in the documents that have been provided by the defense. The issue before this court is very narrow, which is whether there are a condition or a combination of conditions that can reasonably assure the safety of the community as well as the appearance of the defendant as required. It's not an issue before this court whether the defendant is or is not a member of a gang or how his family organization is characterized. With regard to both flight risk and danger, based on all the evidence, I do find that there is no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure, first of all, and most significantly, the safety of the community and any other person. And this is, of course, based primarily on the allegation in the first superseding indictment. And although the allegations are not that the defendant personally pulled the trigger, the allegations are that the defendant exercises a significant amount of control over other individuals and that those individuals were acting at his direction. And I agree with the government about, that the presence of a security company providing security for the defendant is not going to address the significant concerns with regard to safety of the community here. This security company would be acting at the direction under the guidance of the defendant. And so I do not find that that addresses the issues regarding the dangerousness. With regard to a serious risk of flight that is closer call, I recognize that pretrial services concludes that there are conditions that can be set that would address the significant risk of flight. However, I disagree and find that there is no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure the defendant's appearance as required, given the fact that the record is replete with evidence that he has significant resources and ability to leave the jurisdiction, whether it is for an entity that is the United States government can engage in extradition proceedings with or not. He has the ability to clearly and resources to leave the jurisdiction. The bond package, although significant, will leave the defendant with considerable resources, and his own actions in this case suggest that upon learning that these charges were imminent, charges which I might add carry a maximum sentence of life imprisonment, induced him to make preparation, apparently hasty preparation to leave the country. So for all of those reasons, the government request for detention on both of those bases is granted, and I will issue a written order. All right, is there anything further in this matter from the government? Yes or no? No, Your Honor. The court, all right. For the defense, no, Your Honor. The court, all right. The court is adjourned. Proceedings adjourned at 3:29 p.m.
Well, as you've heard, the breaking news of the night is that Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen has managed to visit the Maryland resident Kilmar Abrego Garcia, being held in prison in El Salvador in what the Trump administration admits was a mistake. Senator Van Hollen broke the news on Blue Sky, posting, quote, "I said my main goal of this trip was to meet with Kilmar. Tonight, I had that chance. I have called his wife, Jennifer, to pass along his message of love. I look forward to providing a full update upon my return." And of course, the president of El Salvador, in his wise guy mode, mocked the meeting with this tweet saying, "Kilmar Abrego Garcia miraculously risen from the death camps and torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador." And then at 9:01 p.m. tonight, President Bukele of El Salvador added this to his tweet saying, now that he's been confirmed healthy, he gets the honor of staying in El Salvador's custody. Well, we will see about that. And of course, the president of El Salvador thinks tonight is a time to be mocking this prisoner.
Y'all, we're sharp up at NTN and Trap News Network. Back the same. Like, click, crack, the same. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more of the content we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge you thought you ain't finna get nobody's college. You big dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that get subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. You feel me? You feel me? Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that get subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that news you can use. It's that knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that get subscribe button. And I need y'all to hit that notification bell. Hit all, stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that news and you can use. It's that knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, man. If you ain't did so yet, make sure you please slide over to richtraphouse.com, man. Get into the latest and the greatest, to the merch shop, the Pathetic Fat Soda Sweetie collection, the Loose Cannon hoodies, in Jesus' name I pray collection. That's all out now. Words are hard, words over whoopies, hats and tees, all that's out now, man. Make sure y'all get into that. If you ain't got into all of that, please tap in with richtraphouse.com. Get into that, and you can check out some of our latest and our greatest, what we got going on. Join the newsletter, stay updated on what we got going on. Please tap in with that tap in. You feel me? We finna slide over here to Chicks Move. Big shout out to Chicks Move. Nori attack over Andrew Schultz's Drink Champ interview faces backlash for platforming him. Let's get into it. Let's go. If you ain't like, comment, subscribe to Chicks Move, I need you to hit a like, hit a comment, hit a subscribe to Chicks Move, man. He give us news we can use. He give us knowledge we can't get nobody's college. Big love, big shout out to Chicks Move. Let's get into it. Let's go.
All the coverage that you've been doing, I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Oh, man. Talk about keeping your foot on somebody's neck. The people are not letting Nori slide with this one. Despite what people always say, sometimes, yeah, the money does change you. Now, Drink Champs, the platform that was all about giving flowers to legends, more specifically, hip-hop legends. Now, initially when Nori started Drink Champs, he said, listen, this is not for the new school. This is not for the new age rappers. This is not for the TikTok rappers. My podcast, Drink Champs, is strictly about music legends, legends that do not get their voice heard in media. And I'm going to give Nori credit. He stuck to this plan for about 5+ years. I believe the podcast is maybe 6-7 years old. Now, today, Nori announced that comedian Andrew Schultz was going to be on his podcast. And they also dropped this trailer as well.
Come on, the one and only Andrew Schultz!
I see how you guys do this. You like manipulate the guests. Like, I'm a pussy if I don't drink. In New York, we had this. Did you have a TV in left right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good up here.
Yes, it's great.
We're fucking good at it.
You stormed the Capitol.
We did that shit. We got it. Well, first of all, if you're offended by a joke, you're allowed to be. That's what I keep telling people. Like, I think there's this idea that comedians are out here going, you're not allowed to be offended by the joke. You like, however you feel, you feel.
Yes, man. You just hit the #1 show on Netflix, right?
#1 comedy special.
Right.
We can't have success. We can have a show where we sit around, smoke weed, and drink alcohol, make money, feed our families, and then go, but why doesn't everyone understand me? Rewind it. I'm trying to explain to people, they're like, why weren't you watching SNL? And I was like, because it's on Saturday night, and I was trying to get some pussy.
Now, this has everybody up in arms because not only is Andrew Schultz
received a lot of backlash for his animation type tactics and all, you know what I'm saying? Whatever with the Kendrick Lamar, blah, blah, blah. And he's making jokes about black women and Wookie Bamness and all that. So Kendrick Lamar basically told us not to F with Andrew Schultz and, you know, the culture room with Kendrick. And now Nori's kind of going against the culture. Let's see where this goes.
Schultz not a hip-hop legend, but Andrew Schultz is not in hip-hop in general. Or at least a lot of people feel that way. Now, Schultz is on a media run. More specifically, black media platforms to promote his Netflix comedy special. Now, I'm actually fascinated at the choices of platforms he's choosing to go to. So far in black media platforms, Schultz has done The Breakfast Club. Obviously, that was going to happen. Him and Charlemagne has been cool for about 15+ years now. But Schultz also went on Shannon Sharp's platform, Club Shay Shay, which actually pissed a lot of people off. He's also done the Pivot podcast. Him and Ryan Clark got to squash their issues and speak on it, and a bunch of other radio stations as well. But Andrew Schultz coming on Nori's platform.
But yeah, they're going to feel like Nori is not standing up for black women. He's not standing up for the cause. Andrew Schultz is pretty much blacklisted kind of by the black community. I'm not going to say 100%, you know, because people still like him behind closed doors, but it's a lot of people not dealing with Andrew Schultz.
Forum has a lot of people angry. The fans got in Nori's comments and started attacking him, saying, wait, so it's part-time about legends and the other part-time just anybody? Somebody else asks, yo, how is Andrew Schultz a hip-hop legend? How is he important to the culture? You sellouts. Bye-bye, Drink Champs. What's he got to...
So it's just everybody. Okay, so everybody comments is just wild as hell. So that's just what y'all do in the comments is be barnacles. Got it.
...to do with hip-hop? Fuck with Drink Champs heavy, but won't be watching this particular episode. We need to get parasites like Schultz out of hip-hop, not legitimize him. Remember when Drink Champs was about giving rappers their flowers? Yeah, those were good times. Dame Dash still out there with mad stories to tell. Kanye won't shut up. Ja Rule tight and speaking on it.
That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real. Ja Rule still out there doing whatever. Kanye won't hush up. That's real. It's, you know, that's real.
And you're running with this? So you can see a lot of people are angry. They don't believe that Andrew Schultz deserves to be on Drink Champs. Now, if you guys go look at Drink Champs' past interview over maybe the last year, they've started to pivot to also include comedians. They've had TK Kirkland, Lunel, a few other comedians, and now Andrew Schultz. Now, I'll be honest here and address the elephant in the room. I think a lot of people are angry mainly because Schultz is white. It's not about him not being in hip-hop.
I don't think it's because Schultz is white. I think it's because the type of white person that he is.
Or not being a hip-hop legend. It's because Andrew Schultz is not only white, but some of his talking points can be deemed as racist. And some of his comments also rub people the wrong way, especially what he said about Kendrick Lamar last summer. Now, personally, I think fans are entitled to feel how they feel about it, especially because Nori has not come out and told people, hey, we're going to be moving into a whole different direction than what we initially started with. I know we're all about giving flowers to our legends, but we're low-key running out of guests, so we want to be more inclusive. That way, we'll always have content and interviews for you guys. And this is also a money play. The agency that Andrew Schultz is signed to, they've got a lot of connections to a lot of people, brands, and companies that own some of these podcasts. So even if Nori said, yo, you know what? I don't want Schultz on my platform. The executives and higher-ups at Revolt would make...
They're going to say, you know what? You're going to go ahead and take that anyway. Don't worry about it. We got you. Andrew Schultz, Nori, you're going to love it. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead. Take one for the team, big dog. Go ahead and sit down and drink with that champ.
Make sure that Schultz gets on Drink Champs. That's just how some of these things work. I know a lot of you guys are seeing shows pop up at different places, different Black platforms. A lot of those platforms are not independently owned, so they can't say no to a show's interview. And I'm sure Nori knew he was going to catch a lot of backlash from this. At some point, if you're going to be moving your content into a different direction, it's probably in your best interest to let your audience know. You guys get in the comments below. How do you guys...
Man, that's an interesting thing, though. Now, I will say this. Let me see. Let's see. Why are Black people mad at Andrew Schultz? Why are Black people mad at Andrew Schultz, I think. Let's see.
I just want to point out that we have already finished the podcast, and then CJ, the producer, walked back and said, "Oh, there's just a few more questions that we got to say." Okay, so I just want everybody to know. Yeah, it's fine, but I just want to make sure. CJ, you're a great producer. You're a piece of, but you're a great producer. Okay. Yeah. What was the question? Kendrick said something.
Yes. He said we don't let no.
Oh, that's it right there. Never mind.
I just want to point out that we have already finished the podcast, and then CJ, you're a piece of about no Black woman. That's law. Yeah. You're right. What's my opinion on it?
Yeah.
Oh, have you not heard it?
No, what'd you do?
Oh, I had an opinion on the internet about it. That was pretty.
So you like going back and forth?
So if you want to see what Andrew Schultz's opinion was on Kendrick Lamar, make sure you tap in with Club Shay, get more of that good content. We up out here to the next one. Oh, y'all know the deal. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. Free Avenue Angel till he's free. We got. What's the deal? Y'all Trap Top in 10 and Trap News Network. We back in the same like good crack in the same. We here at 10 and Trap News Network. Good news you can use. Get knowledge, though. You ain't finna get nobody's college, though, big dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that get subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that news you can use. That knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that get subscribe button. Everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you tap in with the tap in. If you ain't tapped in with that, good tap in. And I need y'all to slide over to richtraphouse.com. Get in everything we got going on here at richtraphouse.com. Tap in with that. If you ain't tapped in with that, hoodies, tees, long sleeves, short sleeves are all available now. So make sure you get into that. If you ain't got into that, and you can get caught up for the latest and the greatest, what we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Slide over to that if you ain't slid over to that. We finished tap in with DJ Academics calling WACK 100 the police. Let's get into this. Shout out to Hookah Anonymous.
WACK, you were discussing Brick Baby not going to court, and there was no work that existed at that time.
Fuck you and everybody else who want to try to make me a baby.
You would still be on either Clubhouse or anything else discussing people current street situations, knowing that these niggas just got wrapped up and their words have been used against them.
So the only thing we discuss is what's on the work.
All right, y'all. Now, I'm a little late on this, but I had to react to it because this right here is a different level of insane. I say that because I never thought I'd see the day where you have two guys that willingly tell you that they got no problem saying police stuff online, calling each other and informing. Well, I know Academics lets it be known that he has no problem because he's a civilian. However, WACK 100 likes to play both sides of the fence. One day he's saying incriminating things online about someone and or exposing paperwork or just inside information that no one usually knows. Now, how he gets that information, that's a total different story. But then on the other days, it's situations like this where he feels what he's doing isn't police work. Now, in this case, we have WACK 100 telling Academics he's doing police work by mentioning certain things and breaking down people's cases while on live. However, DJ Academics will clap back and say, well, basically, what do you call what you're doing with Big U? Right?
DJ Academics is calling on a spade. Academics is tied up with WACK lying.
Which is a hell of a point because that's the first thing I thought of when I seen it myself. So let's get into it. I want to know what you guys think about this at the end. Let me know who y'all think is right or wrong. But before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you've not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
And tell every grown man how many times to shake this and wipe it out of here.
No, because I'm trying to have a consensus.
No, I ain't telling no grown man.
I'm trying to have a consensus saying
I'm not telling no grown man.
So you think these three niggas should continue?
I'm not telling no grown man. Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You and everybody else who want to try to make me a babysitter.
Don't
whack.
No, nobody's making you a babysitter. You just take it upon yourself to get all information that is only welcomed by law enforcement, and you just continue to do these things.
WACK.
I'm not telling the grown man.
No, WACK. Hey, for y'all that don't know what's going on, right? He's basically referring to Loose Cannon. Everybody keeps saying how WACK is, he pretty much fueled the whole situation with Loose Cannon and Big U. If y'all remember, they was on No Jumper, and as Loose Cannon was saying what he was saying about Big U, WACK is like, well, tell him this. Well, tell him that. Well, also, don't forget to tell him this. And so the thing is, a lot of people are saying, well, damn, WACK, like, that was your boy, right? You don't feel like no way. And WACK response is, well, I'm nobody's babysitter, right? We're grown men. And I get it, but you did play a part because we did see him instigate it. See, that's what manipulators do. And I think that's what
the manipulation is. Loose Cannon was manipulated and WACK instigated the entire situation. But in law enforcement eyes, they will make WACK a co-conspirator. That's what they call that in law enforcement. They don't call that an instigator. They call that a co-conspirator.
Loose Cannon did, but he don't even realize that he was being manipulated, right?
Grown man.
WACK, let me tell you this. I remember when someone said, hey, listen, they used a video of yours in court. I started to look to say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to get no, and by the way, it's not like I have these guys on my platforms and they're saying it. I don't want to get nobody indicted or locked up. If they said The way how ACK is doing this is how we're locking people up. I would change. So I'm only saying this.
Right, you see the way that everybody's getting locked up for the tactics being used, and yet random something just happened. Let me give y'all this real quick. 50 Cent. They said 50 Cent just ran up on Joe Budden. Pump it up. I don't think he did, though. I think they probably just saw each other. Yo, what's good, y'all? We're shopping at TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same. Like, cracking the same, man. Make sure I like, comment, subscribe for more of this good content we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Yes, that's TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use. Good knowledge, though. You ain't finna get nobody's college, though, big dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that news you can use. It's that knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, big dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you hit that notification bell, hit all, stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Everything we got going on, man. It is 10:30 at night in Atlanta. That means it's 7:30 at night in LA. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Slide over to richtraphouse.com. Get you some of that good merch. If you ain't got none of that good merch, slide over there. Get you some of the good that. You feel me? Hoodies, tees, long sleeves, short sleeves, all that's available now. We'll get into that. If you ain't got into that, we finna slide over to YouTube, man. Chick Smooth got some news we can use. Shout out to Chick Smooth. Let's get into YouTube. Without no further do's or don'ts, 50 Cent confronts Joe Budden about saying he needs therapy. That's a pretty awkward reason to confront somebody, but we're gonna see what's going on here. See what 50 Cent got going on.
Chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, Chicks. Look at Chick Smooth. Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Well, look what we have here, you guys. After months of going back and forth with each other on social media, a lot of tension going back and forth between 50 Cent and Joe Budden, chasing Joe Budden out the strip club, even threats being made at Joe Budden.
Joe Budden looks very uncomfortable. Imagine beefing with 50 Cent and then boom, 50 Cent pops up on you.
But then these two guys finally ran into each other at the Knicks game. Talk about a very awkward moment.
And then 50 Cent has slightly better seats than Joe Budden. They both have amazing seats, but 50 Cent's seats are just a little bit better.
It was only a matter of time before 50 Cent and Joe Budden eventually ran into each other. These two guys move around New York City way too much. They have a lot of mutual people in common. And above all, they're both New York Knicks fans. Now, during game 2 of the Knicks,
who the hell is a New York Knicks fan? In real life, who is a New York Knicks fan?
Knicks versus Pistons playoff game. 50 Cent and Fat Joe went to the game, and right behind them was none other than Joe Budden and his girl, Sade. You can see Joe Budden trying his absolute hardest to not look at the camera, and from what it looks like, he was trying to not acknowledge 50 Cent. Now, we know these two guys still had issues because
not take away from the fact that 50 Cent is sitting next to Fat Joe, and they were once beefing real heavy, almost to a physical level. So shout out to those guys.
Joe Budden trying his absolute hardest to not look at the camera, and from what it looks like, he was trying to not acknowledge 50 Cent. Now, we know these two guys still had issues because as recent as last week, 50 Cent was on Instagram clowning Joe Budden for arguing with Rocky on Twitter Spaces. After Rocky revealed Joe used to do a lot of strange things when they lived together, 50 Cent said, well, damn, Joe, you need therapy for real. You're sleepwalking around naked, masturbating to the point you need travel lube. This is weird behavior.
Travel lube is wild.
Now, obviously, the energy was going to be different between these two guys in person. Nobody's going to fight at the goddamn Knicks game. Nobody wants to be banned for life. But these two guys definitely spoke and exchanged some words. Somebody took a picture of 50 Cent and Joe Budden having a moment together. And some of you guys may know this move. When you're in public and somebody is talking this close to your ear, it's either the person is very drunk or you guys are having a very serious conversation. This one looks like a very serious conversation between 50 Cent.
Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Was 50 Cent pressing him, or y'all think that 50 Cent was just talking to him, having a regular conversation?
And Joe. Maybe Joe was
I think that they both rich as fuck, and they probably both don't really care in real life.
Up in a plea, maybe 50 Cent was trying to explain his point of view the whole time, or maybe these guys were just talking about the restaurants they're going to dinner afterwards. Now, all jokes aside, this is why you never, ever, ever argue with somebody that's everywhere. Somebody like 50 Cent can pop out on you randomly, especially when you least expect it, and you gotta have that
And you gotta have the energy you had when you was talking crazy. When you were talking crazy online, just make sure you had that same energy in real life. So who it may apply to.
Conversation with him if you guys got smoke. From Joe's responses back to 50, seems like Joe did not want the smoke with 50. The whole thing just really seems like miscommunication from the start. Now, according to 50 Cent, he confronted Joe about saying he needs therapy. 50 Cent posted on Instagram during the game saying, I ran into Joe at the game. He said, I don't need therapy no more. But I'm sure Joe is going to let everybody know the nature of the conversation on the next podcast episode. But you guys get in the comments below. What do you guys think about this encounter between 50 Cent and Joe Budden? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video.
All right, man. Shout out to Chicks Move. Just going to give y'all that quick little news you can use, that quick little knowledge you're finna get in college. Y'all know the deal. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. And it's free. Avenue Angel Tweets free. We go. Hold on. Give y'all back to what I got y'all watching.
Started to look to say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to get no. And by the way, it's not like I have these guys on my platforms and they're saying it. I don't want to get nobody indicted or locked up. If they said the way how ACK is doing this is how we're locking people up, I would change. So I'm only saying this.
Right, you see the way that everybody's getting locked up for the tactics being used, and yet you've not switched the tactics. But that's because WACK 100, like I've been saying, is doing this report and doing this check-in from YouTube.
To say, all black, this is the first RICO case that they've ever mentioned podcast this much. I think podcasts should probably take note. You don't think so? And then you got to keep in mind, they said 40% of that RICO has to deal with social media. And when they mentioned podcasters, they specifically mentioned the no jumper hole situation with Loose Cannon and WACK 100. Now, we've seen where Adam 22 said he had to give up whatever the cease and desist that he received from Big U, as well as other stuff that we may not know about, right? But like academics is saying, if they're saying they're using this in court to pretty much indict somebody, wouldn't you want to switch that up, right? Not to mention, if they're using that same interview that you did with Loose Cannon, and you was there instigating the whole situation, then what does that say? It's not about being a babysitter.
We're different people.
And it's not even the fact of being there to be a babysitter. Number one, you're a co-conspirator. Number two, you're actually saying how you were involved in some of these things, like the no jumper fight and all that kind of stuff. So it's way past the point of you being a babysitter. You're actually a participant.
My homies wouldn't be in my backyard either. See how we different people? So you're different people, right? I'm telling you.
He brought up the fact that WACK Academics homies was sleeping with his girl in the backyard, and he's loosely alluding to WACK Academics' alleged rape case.
I don't. See, he threw a low blow at ACK. Yo, let me tell you, I don't know what it is with ACK and WACK. Get it, ACK and WACK, and I don't know. But anyway, they got like this weird relationship, almost like Stephen A.
They're frenemies.
Smith and Skip Bayless in a sense, or Shannon Sharp, whatever the case may be. But it seems like sometimes they go too far, at least WACK 100, like things like that. If y'all remember, this is a serious case with DJ Academics where he was alleged, it was alleged that he was involved in a grape situation, right? We covered that as well. But as you can see, he brought that up, right? Like, we're two different people. My friends wouldn't be having sex with my girl in my backyard. And see, that's a little too far. But hey, I guess that's a relationship they have.
On upload, and I'm not telling the grown man I'm gay.
But he did. So wait, WACK. So you still, like, after watching all of this with his Big U Rico, you was still.
I'm not telling the grown man.
I'm not saying you telling them. I'm talking about your actions. You would still be on either Clubhouse or anything else discussing people current street situations, knowing that these just got wrapped up and their words have been used against them.
The only thing we discuss is what's on the work.
See, you know what's crazy? Every time somebody make a point against WACK and he get mad, he starts getting
name calling,
disrespectful. Right? Now, keep in mind, he said everything they discuss is in the paperwork, but it's not. Because if y'all remember, he's the one that released the audio of the mother and the sister, I believe, of the alleged victim that had DNA from Big U allegedly underneath his nails. He's the one that put that narrative out there, but now for some reason, you know, he's kind of like retracting it. Like, oh no, I didn't say that, or I don't know where it came from. It came from him. That narrative about the DNA being underneath the nails came from WACK 100 himself, and he went as far as having the mother and sister on audio, and he played it on Clubhouse. That wasn't in the paperwork.
That's still not in the paperwork, and it's looking like you're a snitchiana.
At least not from what we seen.
Cause on the work, we run it.
WACK, you were discussing Brick Davey not going to court, and there was no work that existed at that time.
Facts.
So you're discussing his current situation.
So you're too eager of a snitch. You're privy to all this information because you're working with these people, and you're too eager to put it out.
Wait, say that again?
There was no paperwork that existed, but you were discussing.
That's why we discussed it. How you ain't got a court date and no bail information? Now,
hold on. Wait. Why is that online content? Why is that online content though?
Because that's what we want it to be. Because you talking about you police.
See, this is this is what people do when they realize that their point is null and void.
They start projecting that shit on everything else outside of the original issue.
Or that you got them in a conversation. They get very disrespectful to try to deflect from the point at hand. At the end of the day, he just contradicted himself. He said, we're only talking about things that's in the paperwork. Academics named something that wasn't in the paperwork, and he said, well, I wanted it to be content. Well, it wasn't out there at the time, but I wanted it to be. Who cares?
So why are you preview the paperwork that nobody else? Officer WACK?
Contradictor.
Why did you take off shooting, sit here like the DEA, still frame it, circle, break down who had on what color, who had on.
What does academics being a civilian talking about takeoff have anything to do with WACK 100, who claims to be a super banged out Paru being a rat?
What shoes?
I gotta hold on. Wait. Whack.
But you would never get an academics like that in real life. You sat next to that nigga, he played with you in your face on no jumper, and now you over here acting like a buster. Look at you.
And then history podcasting.
Hold on.
You sit here on the open murder case.
Wait, hold on. WACK.
Down the shirt, all that. Now it's up. You with the 100 side of the trenches.
Hold on.
You playing with the 100 side of the trenches. This nigga just banged a Facebook group on them. Why you don't bang Pacoima Paru Bloods? Why you banging a Facebook group?
WACK, here's the difference. Wait, WACK. Wait, WACK. Are you gonna let me say the difference? WACK.
Did you not?
The difference is,
see,
I know.
You see what WACK is doing? And it's crazy because I deal with people like this often too. They try to overtalk, right? And then you hear what he tried to do. He tried to muscle his own narrative in there. Did you not? First of all, we're not talking about that. Like whatever you said I did, cool. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about what you just said. Now you're trying to deflect from the original point at hand once again. But I think Act actually admitted it.
I didn't admit it. Everybody else is doing it and claim they're not. I know I did it. No. I said I'm solving this. I literally said I'm solving a murder alive. Everybody else is doing it and acting like they're keeping the street. Hold on. As long as everybody say what I did with the takeover was police, I'm a civilian. What y'all are doing is police. We all do police.
Damn, we all doing police-ish.
If we admit it, let's go. We all hold hands and do police.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying.
Let me explain something to you. If we got to work, or we know you working, we're going, listen, if I wasn't telling that you got caught, and you working right now today, one thing everybody can't say is WACK didn't call it and this didn't lie. He lied right here on your platform, right?
See, but you see what he just did? If y'all pay attention to what just happened, he just created a diversion from the original point at hand.
Like academics just said, well, we all some police-ass ninjas.
And then went to something totally different and said, well, guess what? If I didn't did what I did, right, where he lied, nobody would know because he lied about it. But here's the thing, once again, are you either going to admit you did it, or are you just going to take credit for knowing something ahead of time? Either way, it's still kind of speaking on something that wasn't out there at the time. Now, this is what they're categorizing as police work. At the end of the day, is it police work? Totally up to them, or
definitely police work. Because WACK is self-proclaimed to be the super banged out Paru blood, and Paru bloods don't do that.
whoever else feel it is. But you can't say you're not doing it, but then you want to take credit for it at the end of the day. Well, no, I didn't do it, but you can't say that I didn't tell y'all ahead of time. He would have still been lying to y'all. It's you either I don't know, man.
I'm with you.
Hold on.
Wack, hold on. The key point you're about to skip over, I said, and I'm admitting that takeoff is police. I do police on here all the time. I saw cars. Hold on. As long as you say that the 100 side does it too, we all do police.
As long as you say that the 100 side does it too, we all do police-ish.
Will continue to read and run paperwork. I don't give a what it's about.
Okay. So, and by the way, everybody knows you doing ACK is liable to do some police. Or will you say the same or no?
What you mean? Like, nigga, I'm just correcting you because you talking about what we do. We don't do what you do. That was a wide.
Wack, you know this case more than me. You mentioned the allegation of a murder before we ever seen a work. We never seen a work.
And at least 5 of our wounds on the 100 side. I gotta
you giving up all this police information that wasn't made public until you made it public, officer.
Guy named Prince. And if I brought him in here right
now, you snitching on Prince.
Right now, he can recite the whole to you. You know why? We have rooms on the 100 side called murder mystery, but we didn't ran through the whole.
He keeps going past the point. See what I'm saying?
But we didn't ran through the whole night.
Academic's point is this, simple and plain, but he keeps trying to jump over it. It's, listen, I know what I do over here is police. I'm admitting it. What y'all is doing, y'all are doing
one cop, two cop, red cop, blue cop.
Police work, but y'all not admitting it. Y'all trying to dress it up. But y'all are doing police work, but you don't want to admit it. Just admit that y'all doing police work too. WACK said no. He's trying to create diversions.
The only thing I would say is that with the takeoff thing, I got the murder suspect.
You didn't read no indictment.
No.
Video footage.
WACK, you didn't read no indictment. You basically went to talk to the victim or the victim's mom. So we did the both same thing, except you were right. I was wrong.
Hey, bro.
Damn. Sheesh.
Talking to 2 people we know they're giving us wrong information. We didn't give a. Do you know what?
See, once again, first of all, see, and this is what, let me tell y'all, I'm not going to tell y'all who to pay attention to, who to subscribe, and none of that. But a lot of these guys that be out here creating the quote-unquote content, this is what they do. As he about to say, listen, everybody's lying to us. You know they lying. This is what we do. And no, this is not what we do. And this is why real journalism, or sometimes investigative journal, whatever you want to call it, right? It gets lost because at the end of the day, you have people just saying or doing anything all for the sake of content. But to be honest with you, I think it's more to what it is with WACK, because he's been on like this campaign where he's saying everything he was saying about Big U was wrong. And this, he did a DJ Vlad interview where he kind of retracted everything he said. I don't know. It's kind of suspicious, but he went from, yeah, Big U did this and yeah, Big U did that, to suddenly now it's no.
So now you don't know anything, and now you don't know nothing. Is I'm taking Big U down, and he's a cop. He had the BlackBerry phone and all that, and now all that content is suddenly being taken down because, like I've been telling y'all, that No Jumper Rico is coming up, and WACK, or let's call it the No Jumper indictment, is coming up, and WACK 100 is going to be involved.
No, he didn't. I don't know where the narratives came from. No, I wish him the best. Where does this come from? And how do, you know, it's funny, how do Loose Cannon feel now? Because now when you pay attention, right, you got WACK 100. He was with Loose Cannon, agitating him, instigating him to talk about Big U. That's one of the reasons why Loose Cannon is in the situation he's in now. At first, they tried to make it seem like it wasn't, but clearly when Adam said, well, they wanted to cease and desist, that had something to do with Loose Cannon because he spoke on Big U, right? So how would Loose Cannon feel knowing that he was pretty much no, that's not the word. Pretty much hyped up by WACK 100 to talk about the situation with Big U, and he's in there, and now WACK is out here saying, well,
and that's the reason why Loose Cannon is probably more than likely going to expose what I've been saying. Loose Cannon is going to expose the information proving that WACK 100 set up the no jumper fight.
Oh, you know, Big U's a good guy, and I don't get it.
With that, do you know what that character was designed to do?
What?
The same shit what Big U did to me, antagonized the fuck out of me. He got me back on his turn in. Nigga, he say shit, they ask me questions.
He did make it hot for you. He was trying to make it hot for you. He was trying to go crazy.
Okay, but guess what? Looking at what he said and looking at the indictment, can you say Big U?
Now you making it seem like you and Big U been joking back and forth. Nigga, he's in the federal penitentiary. It ain't nothing joking about that.
It's bullshit on WACK because that you said is supported by the indictment paperwork, right? But he shot his shot, so I gotta answer questions. So what we did, when we hear these ladies telling us wrong murder dates, wrong murder years, that this gonna happen, and you asking us for money after the fact.
WACK, here's the difference.
Trolling.
I give it a big difference.
This is trolling. We press play, and guess what? We sat back and we wanted to watch it get questions and people tap people on the shoulder. His boys call us. You think they don't call us and say, yeah, we was at the park today and they asked Cuz about that. What'd he say? He got mad and stormed off. That's all we want to hear.
WACK.
So basically, they're all playing. All right, so
niggas is playing.
Niggas
is playing police, and they think that ish is cute. Grown ass gangbangers playing police, barnacles.
Basically it. But as you can see, I don't know how credible. Well, we already knew that. You take whatever WACK says with a grain of salt. But now that he's basically admitting, well, you know, everything we say, don't believe because we just run content. We're trolling. We're just trolling to get questions asked so y'all can get mad about the questions and that's the social media games they playing. That's the social media game.
Y'all know the deal though. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. Show love to Hookah Anonymous. We about to the next one. No free avenue agents. He's free. We are gone. Shop type of NT and Trapping Network. Back in the same, like cook cracking the same, and make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. More does get content on it, man. It's Saturday. I ain't gonna hold y'all with no long intro. Just get into richtraphouse.com, get into all that. Get into richtraphouse.com, get into the Man at the Garden freestyle, all the music and all that. Y'all know what to get into. But if you ain't gonna do nothing else on this beautiful Saturday, hit that subscribe button. You feel me? Let's get into this, man. We got academics. Hey, look, bro. Academics calls WACK 100 to speak on Brick Baby denying snitching. He goes crazy on Pyru. Oh, I get it on Pyru. Got it.
Every time I call WACK, I'm always thinking, just, hey, yo, bro. That's how WACK answers the phone. WACK!
What up?
I'm on stream. I'm on stream warning.
What's the word?
Yeah, we just listened to the Brick Baby calling.
Bro, look, Act, what I've been telling you, bro. You don't listen.
Is Brick working or not?
Oh, Brick was definitely working. I mean, that's you ain't running around here 21 months, nigga, with 4 sets of cases and no court date.
Yo, WACK.
4 sets of cases is crazy.
Was he talking about you on this thing?
Talking about who?
So I think he was talking about 600 for sure. Because he said a light.
What do you mean?
And so on his thing, he's like this light-skinned dude with a badge or whatever the case is. And he basically was just like, yo, people are saying that. He said people are saying that I'm a snitch. Basically.
No, the paperwork says he's a snitch.
Yeah,
the paperwork doesn't say that, but go off.
I don't know if you're right. But
did you read the paperwork?
No. Okay. Explain the paperwork.
Okay, don't tell me, nigga, no head. You didn't read the paperwork?
Okay, I did read the paperwork. But he explained it.
Did you read it?
Yes, he explained it, though.
No, you can't explain it. No, there's no explaining that. See, this is how this works.
It's crazy how WACK knows about everybody's paperwork. What about his gun case in Texas where his brother called him a snitch because WACK told on his brother? Why don't we ever talk about that? Whatever.
That's why I hate a lot of you motherfuckers, right? Niggas will make up shit on me that ain't printed nowhere and ride with it. But it'll be printed right in front of your face and you let a nigga tell you that ain't what you read. See, listen, all you gotta do is read what he's reading. That nigga's talking to his mom or his bitch.
Yeah.
Read it. All you gotta do is read it. Don't none of that got nothing to do with no child custody or none of that shit. When you talking to your people and you don't know your phone is wired, right? Let me tell you who gonna know you cooperate. Your bitch gonna know. Your woman gonna know you cooperate. She gonna know what's going on with you, right? So you're not gonna hide nothing from her.
He said he was talking about a custody battle though, or like
no. Do you see anywhere in there where there's ever a custody battle?
Well, the cops.
No, that nigga said.
How you gonna ask that nigga a question and then answer it for him? He was like, "Well, no, okay, well, I guess I don't." Forget me for asking the question. Answer the question you asked.
But I'm tired of doing what the police tell me to do. See, when you're doing a custody battle act, the police.
I can't wait till wax paperwork come out in this case. Y'all just stay tuned.
Police don't tell you to do shit. The courts tell you what to do. Let's get it right.
That's true. That's true.
Courts, police, two different entities.
Yeah, but street niggas might call the courts police.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
You're not a street nigga, so how do you even know?
Nothing about that conversation has anything to do with a custody battle. But y'all let dudes spin y'all. But guess what? If my name was tied to that same statement, what would they be saying?
Yeah, you're right about it. But let me ask you this question, though, Wack.
There's no but, bro.
No, there is a but.
There's no but. There's no but.
Okay.
If you show me anywhere in them documents where custody battle is mentioned, anywhere, you got me.
Hold on, but Wack. All right. So I'm hearing what you're saying. Here's the response to it. The response to it would be...
I don't care about his response.
No. It's not about his response. Wack. We got to, we got to use critical thinking.
No, you can't, because guess what?
Can I get it off?
Any snitch is going to want to respond to his snitching in a way that makes it look like it ain't snitching. This is why it's called paperwork. Watch this act. The documentation beats the conversation.
Like, that nigga might as well just look in the mirror and talk to himself, because like you asking questions, I'm just don't understand.
Period. That's why it's called paperwork. Fuck what you talking about. Yeah. We gonna read about what you talking about.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then, right? Because if what you're saying is right, then this doesn't make sense to me. I need you to explain. If that is proof that he's working, why would the feds show their hand by including it and then put him in the jail?
They're done with him, Act. What do you mean?
But they need him to testify.
Show this work in 2022.
They need him. If he's working, they need him to testify.
He's been working since 2022. No, you must see. Here, let me see.